Hello everyone and welcome back to Laurence Plays, and it's a Wednesday so it's time for some more fun mode. And my webcam is way out of sync. Let's see if we can fix that before we go any further. So yeah, I ended up playing a little bit more of this than I would normally have expected to because on Monday we had some massive technical difficulties. Yeah, that seems to be better. Some massive technical difficulties with Planetary Pioneers. Fortunately, Tristan has rummaged in the code, got his hands dirty and all that, and he has actually found the problem, and he thinks he has a solution to it. So I believe some testing might actually be happening as we speak with some of the others who aren't currently in the game. So fingers crossed, we will be able to carry on with the Planetary Pioneers run. It was Castra doing something silly, as is fairly traditional, unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully that'll get that problem will now be sorted, and we'll be able to carry on as normal on next Monday. So hello, Fox, and I'm glad I'm entertained that your arm is so amusing. Let's see. Oh, hello, Bordeezy. Hello, Quagor. Hello, Mark. And yes, hello, Bordeezy again. Yes, it is indeed good to know. So hopefully it all will be well, as I say. Okay, so in the sort of the extra hour of play I did on Monday, I discovered the magic of concrete, which allows me to put my offshore assemblers onshore on concrete. So I guess it's a sort of funny water fill in a way, and that has allowed me to start making batteries, which is lovely. Then we moved on to the flat-headed box gizmo, which lied to me, saying it was the last gizmo I was going to have to produce. There's another one, because of course there is, but that wasn't really unexpected. So for this one, I'm going to need to bring in some batteries and some iron plates, and I think I don't normally like doing this. I don't normally approve of this sort of thing, but I think I'm just going to bring the batteries in from here like this, rather than bring them all the way across there to bring them all the way back again. So similarly, we're then going to bring the iron plate along, and we're going to break that one out. That comes out here, so we can then loop it round like this. And that's going to be the two bits we need for the flat-headed gizmo malarkeys. I do, of course, then need to get stuck in Runeit, the Slayer X Fret, and also the delayer of me. We'll give you a okay. We'll give you actually that and that'll work fine, and then we can give you some inserts as well there and there, and that will allow me to start making these box things. I reckoned I needed those. I can't remember what for. Probably for the lab 2s. I'm assuming that's why I started making them. Yes, there we go. So this is going to need seahorses, red circuits, gizmos, red belts, and greel. Well, I am making red belts all the way up here. But I don't really fancy putting them on the bus and bringing them down. So it's just cog, belt, done. So I think I'll probably do that. I think that seems easier than trying to make them, ship them over. So these are going to have to go out onto another row of the bus, because I'm sure I'm going to need these later. But in the meantime, let's see. So red circuits and seahorses. Weird combination of things to need. Okay, so the red circuits and seahorses are being made here, but I won't get any seahorses through because I haven't set that up. I didn't realise they were going to be a required resource, should we say? But that's not too much of a problem. Let's see, let's spaghetti those out over here. So if I do that, then we'll get some seahorses flowing. That's fine, because then I can put in a splatter there, and then run that to there, and then over to here somewhere. And we then need to work out where I'm putting. Yes, so I'm putting the batteries here. They are the batteries are the final thing on that row of bus. So the seahorses will be the first thing on the next row, like this. I will honestly admit I was not expecting seahorses to be a generally required resource, but you know, well, that's on me, and I should have expected that. It's a thing. I should probably put it onto the bus. So greel is there, coming through an underground. So now we've got the seahorses, we've got red circuits on the bus, we've got flat-headed box gizmos on the bus. I need to make red belts, and then we'll have. So these are a lab, another type of lab. So we're not going to be making these in enormous quantities. So I think it's probably reasonable to do direct insertion of the red belt, which will require. Will this fit? No. Yes. No. Maybe. No, it won't. So my thought was, can I insert the yellow belts directly into the red belt machine? And I can't, because they need to go somewhere in between. But I could do that and that. it's kind of gross putting them on the floor like that, but so I'll put a piece of belt in the middle to make myself feel better. There we go. And then this one will do my cogging. This one will do yellow belts. This one will do red belts. And then we'll dump them into here like that. That's fairly straightforward. It means I need another belt of iron that's going to come in about here and across here like this, and then another long inserter there and normal inserters there and there. You do need iron as well, don't you? You don't need iron. Okay. Well, we can do that then. That's fine. We've got the gears being made in the belts. That seems fine. Oh yeah, Tristan has confirmed that the fix is now working in multiplayer as well. That's good. How awful would a mega base be? To be honest, I don't think a mega base would be that much worse, because once you've solved a problem, once you've found the silly thing, it is kind of just normal Factorio at that point. There's not a huge amount of stuff in this that breaks the game, shall we say. There's just things that break my expectations, and then once I've adjusted my expectations, it's kind of okay. Except there's the trees in the way. So I don't think mega basing this would be any more painful than mini basing it, or whatever size base it is that I'm doing. I don't really know. Because everything is just, well, okay, so I've had to make seahorses, which come out as a byproduct of red circuits. Sure, fine, okay, I found a way of dealing with those. It's all that sort of thing. So I don't think it would be too horrible. It is entirely possible that I am very, very wrong about this, and it would be absolute chaos. But my gut feeling is that it wouldn't be too bad. Right, so that's going to be red circuits and a thingamwhat's. It's seahorses. So red circuits are here. Seahorses are here. So that should be in line if I do that. There we go, lovely. And then again from here. Bonk, there we go, perfect. And just join the belts up. And then we'll have the first two ingredients for this process. Boom, just like that. Then we need iron to come in here as well. So that's going to come here. This is where it gets slightly awkward. Oh, well, I'll just move the other belt across. That's fine. So we need to bring this one down like that. And then loop it round like this. There. And then you can come across here and go underneath here, because you're going to go on the other side of the seahorses. The things this mod has me saying, dear me. Right, and then over here, what's the other side? This is then, so we've got the seahorses and advanced circuits. We need to bring in box gizmos and greel now. So that's going to be the next two that are coming in on this belt. I could have shorted the gizmo boxes over this way. I haven't. It's kind of too late now, so I'm not going to. What I should have done is put these two belts the opposite way around, and then I could just loop this one straight into the input there. Although, to be fair, then the iron belt would have got in the way. But that's fine. Yeah, updating, making sure we are happy with the mods, happy with the fix, and ready to let other people play with it. It's a slightly larger process, and I suspect we're probably going to want to play with it a little bit ourselves before we let anyone else have a go. Not because we're being mean, but because if there are problems with it, it's sort of better if we find them ourselves, because then we can look into them and work out what the problem is and sort them out. Whereas if somebody else has problems, then they're just going to shout at us and then we'll be sad. Goes there and boop, 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 boop. Boop. No. No. Stop that. Stupid thing. Grill me. There we go. Yeah, that's true. Having a, if you had an enormous base, suddenly having a big section of it frozen or a belt randomly change direction somewhere in the middle of your mega base, that would be extremely upsetting. So yeah, you're quite right. There are some of the random effect things would probably be the worst part of it by a significant margin. I sort of... I'm not going to say I forget they're a thing, because I don't. But yeah, but I suspect... Yeah, I do agree. I think suddenly having a mega base and being told that a random piece of belt has been pointed in a different direction would almost be enough for a rage quit, I suspect. So we'll do that. I don't need that. Probably don't need that. And then I can copy all of that and do it again there. And I don't know how many of these I'm going to need, but these are a sort of an intermediate thing. And that makes me think that I'm probably going to need quite a lot of them. So let's put down a quantity. Also, I suspect they're probably a fairly slow build, although I haven't actually checked this. Yeah, 1 every 10 seconds. So definitely need sort of enough machines to produce one a second or so. All right, why are you not doing stuff? You don't have any red belts. Why are you not doing stuff? Because I'm not passing the gears across. Fine. There we go. Now we can... Yeah, now they can belt up. What are you waiting for? Oh, more gears. Fine. And again, this isn't something that I feel I'm going to need particularly quickly. How many? 4 transport belts. Okay. I don't think I'm going to need an enormous number of these. Making like 5 or 6 is probably going to be plenty. It just means I need to now work out something to do while I'm waiting for the waiting for those 5 or 6 to actually produce. So looking at the map, let's do a quick pollution check. I know I cleared some area out last time, but I'm always a little bit paranoid. But no, it looks like my pollution cloud is well defended. No biters have tried to expand into the area. There's an expansion happening that has happened there, I suspect. But basically, we've got a decent amount of territory to play with. At some point, I'm probably going to have to go and tap that iron patch, but now it has not been necessary yet. We still have 162,000 iron there. I don't remember how much it was on when I started. It was obviously a lot more than that, but yeah, we're chugging through it, but it seems to be hanging on reasonably well. Look, it's not being fed in quite as fast as it potentially could be. So we've got enough iron. That's a good position to be in. Down here, the greel is greeling nicely. We've got full boxes there. Excellent. Haven't seen that before. And over here, the copper is looking pretty good. The furnaces here the output of the furnace is full. The belt is solid. Yeah, all of that looks pretty good. How's my fishing going on? Okay, we seem to have a backlog along here, but that's because we're not actually getting through the solid steam fast enough. Now that's kind of okay, except that means we could potentially have a power problem. Maybe feeding them down the same belt here was a mistake, but I don't have space along here to put longer. I suppose I could move all of these steam pipes up to the other side of the belt. What's the range on these things? Yeah, I could move the steam pipes up to here, and then there'd be room to put long inserters in here to take the other thing out, maybe the fish out or the steam out, and pass it around. Because as it is, the belt is clogged up on fish all the way up to here, which means the solid steam isn't going through here, so we're not getting any fuel over here, which means in theory, yeah, we are short of power now. So need to use more solid steam, but we're not using solid steam faster. Yeah, it's a bit of a fishy problem. Okay, well, while the labs are labbing, we've got 5 of them now, actually. All right, the labs have labbed fairly well. Let's take the labs over, put them in so we can start researching things that involve complicated science packs like burner inserters, and then go over and put in and improve that fish disposal system, because it's not looking great. Nope, that's the wrong direction of belt. Where's there a belt going in the right direction? There's one. So run along here. So we've got these labs over. I haven't checked that the new labs are the same size. I would not be surprised if they aren't. Nope, they're not the same size. Okay, well, does that count as a troll? I'm not sure. It's 2 squares bigger. Okay, but I've got plenty of room here to move the belts across. So I think I'm okay with that. I just need to make sure I can remove all of this stuff, which is going to be the tricky part. Why are you missing a long inserter? Why are all of these missing long inserters? What is going on? Hang on. Okay, Hey, this is an how did this ever work moment, because none of these labs are being fed with red science packs. I shall worry about that later. So for now, I'm going to feed this another over 1, 2, so that goes up there. And then feed this one over 1 to have it go up here. And then vacuum cleaner time. Like that. and pull everything out of all these labs. Then I can get the bots to pull all of the actual machinery up and the belts, and they'll be decently quick at it. Well, as quick as the bots ever get in this particular mod, because I've got very, very slow bots still. But I'm lucky. To be fair, I'm lucky to have any bots at this stage of the game. While they're doing that, I'm going to put some more belts in there and there. I'm going to clear some of this stuff out manually because it just doesn't seem to be happening. So this is, yeah, I'm still in that how did this ever work phase of this game. So put that in there. Hey, build lab 2.0. Put them in there. And then I can just come along here, and each one of these is going to require a long inserter and a short inserter, like that. And the same on the other side. Easy. And then they're going to require pylons as well, like that and that. And then it's just copy-paste, really, isn't it? So that goes to there, and there, and there, and there. Basically like this until we run out of until I run out of labs, which is not yet apparently. Another one in there then. I think that's all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's all the ones I can put down. Are these any quicker? So you have a research speed of 3, which is a plus 50%. The other ones have a research speed of 1. So yeah, they are significantly quicker, significantly better. Oh, but they require fueling. Grape juice spring, coal or solid fuel. Right, okay. So the tier 2 labs are in fact burner labs, but we can put in repair packs and normal labs. And at least I can use them up somewhere. Burner inserters, boilers, explosives, and pyanidin science packs. Good. More footprint and quicker. The downside is they require a supply of fuel. So coal, and if I power them with coal, they're going to produce fish. If I power them with solid fuel... Oh, I rebuilt the science belts on Monday. Ah, right, yeah, that bit there. That's probably what caused the issue. So if I... So presumably... The fish... Yeah, burning stuff in here is going to produce fish. Burning coal in here is going to produce fish. I'm going to assume that burning... Actually, I wonder if have I got any solid fuel at this stage? I want to find out if burning solid fuel also produces fish. Because I'm curious. My assumption is that it will do. But I'm not sure, and I would like to check. So we can turn Sprite into solid fuel, and orange juice, and Coca-Cola. Fine. Are we doing that yet? No. What do we do it in? Probably a... an unboiler. Do I have an unboiler? Of course not. Can I make an unboiler? Yes. There we go. So put one of these guys down... here, and I'm going to tell him to make solid fuel from Sprite. And at that point that requires fuel. Okay, do I have any fuel? I've got some wood. We can check the wood in. No, we can't. Can't run on wood. Apparently, wood. This is like actually, Planetary Pioneers has the same problem with wood not burning. So check that in there. Right. So there we go. There we're making some solid fuel. If I take that solid fuel out and put it in there. We're going to get a fish from the coal burning, like that, sure. But are we going to get a fish from the solid fuel burning? As I say, my assumption is that we are, but I don't want to just assume, because if you can just burn solid fuel and not get fish, that would be very, very worth knowing. Your prediction is burning solid fuel makes seahorses. Now that would be logical, and that would be quite funny. So I hope you're right. Burn grape juice springs. Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll burn all... Oh, it hasn't produced anything. So we've burnt one of those solid fuels. Have I just lost... Yes, I've just lost my radar. That's nice. Yay! I now have 2 factories and no idea what my pollution's like. Good. Thanks for that. Give me that. So I'm just going to check this again for reasons of sanity. But I'm pretty sure solid fuel does not seem to produce fish. No, solid fuel does not produce fish. Right, okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to start powering some things with solid fuel. In fact, I think I'm going to start powering everything with solid fuel. Because why wouldn't I? What's going on over here? Okay, that's making coal. That's making plastic. That's all right. That's not burning fuel. Magentide is still blocking those two pipes, but then that's because I haven't been over there, so that's actually kind of expected. Right, so let's start making solid fuel here, and then whacking it back up the thingamawatsit over that way. I suspect we're going to need more of these guys. Like that. Oh yeah, I need to make them. And then we shall do the this thing, like we've been doing with all the coconuts on Pelagos, because that allows you to have a machine fuel itself, at least once you've bootstrapped it. So I can come through there, and then I need to somehow spaghetti it through to the bus and flow it off to the left. Right. You're quite right. There is a chance that that we might end up with some fish anyway. We will see how it goes. We'll see whether that happens. And I will admit I would be amused if that happened. But I would definitely put another counter onto the trollomometer. Right. So let's. Yes. Okay. This is a little bit gross and not fully respecting the sanctity of the bus, but the bus is on a corner here, so it's kind of the bus's own fault. That's the wrong way. There we go. So this is going to come under that, and then it's going to go along here to go up here, round, and down. And then I'm going to run out of underground belts like that, like this. So bring this to here, because then I can run it along here, because that's in the gap between bus sections. So there's not supposed to be anything there, but in this case I will forgive myself, because I'm magnanimous like that. I can't reach the box. Give me. How am I for belts? 400. 400 is probably going to be enough for this build, and then I will immediately run out again. So we are going to then go from here under. No. From here, we're going to go under and pop up there, and then do something from there. We will work this one out in a moment. I think probably just let's just go along next to the fish, because I don't think there's nothing else on the bus at this height, and so anything else that wants to come along here will be sorting itself out around the corner anyway. Okay, so we can bring the solid fuel over. There are the labs. So we're going to want to bring this up, I guess, as if it's a science pack for now, because to be honest, why not? So come up here and go boink, 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 and then we'll have this belt go underground from there. And then it's this column. Where is my... No, stop being bad. There, to there, good, to there, to there. Like that. And then down here, I don't know where the bottom part of this column is going to be, like that. Yeah, like that. Right, so that's fueled now, and we'll find out in the fullness of time whether I have caused I've put in some labs. And I'll put some coal. No, we don't want to burn coal because it's going to produce fish. I'll need to take that fish out again when it comes through. So we will find out in the fullness of time whether this is whether this is going to be a problem or not. Did I bring any solid fuel with me? Yes. There we go. Let's get them started. And then you take your fish away. Take back your fish. And then start that running on solid fuel. Good. And here comes the supply of fuel anyway. So, right, this is now operational. I've ditched all of my all of my usables into here. I'd like them back, actually, because they're kind of useful. Okay, so that's some Lab 2s placed. They trolled me by becoming burner machines, but then I've now managed to get them starting to research things again. So we're doing the bonk damage. We can bonk a little bit more quickly than we could before. And then when we get a few more... the burner inserters made, we can then investigate Bob and find out what Bob is all about. In the meantime, we're looking into Pioneered and Science Packs, which is going to get me a lot of fun bits and pieces. We've got dense structures, mining productivity, and tanks to come through. So those are all useful things. Let's also learn not to die when I touch cliffs as well. You put me on 3 times speed. I normally talk fairly quickly anyway, so I don't even want to imagine what that would be like. Probably amazing and wonderful. So the next question, and to which I think I already know the answer. Actually, I'm not sure I do know the answer. The next question was going to be, do I then start producing more solid fuel? Because the forbidden grape juice is basically infinite, at least until I run out of the grape patches in order to make the soda machines. So we can get an enormous amount of solid fuel out. Should I then be powering all of my burning machines over here on solid fuel so I don't get the fish? But the problem with that is I sort of nominally at least want the fish in order to upgrade them all the way through and turn them into fish dens or whatever and get the upgrade. So I guess I probably actually want to leave this as a fishermatron. So I'm going to run this belt up here and across here. Okay, good. I saw the numbers on the belt and got slightly worried that I was going to run out of belts on the way up here. So bring this up here like so. And then, so which is which? It doesn't matter. So let's go in and let's put in the infrastructure first. So I'm going to need a piece of pipe. That's a problem. This one is also going to be a problem, because I'm going to need to get 2 inserters around this guy. Maybe I could do it with an underground. This is the problem here. So we'll get rid of that for the moment, so that I can build this up, and then we'll come back and think about that. Think about what I've done later. So that will go there. There and there. I have another one. No, wait. If I pull that out, it needs to be one lower than that, doesn't it? So put that there. And then take that out, put that there. And these are still all sort of linked together. Oh, no, they're not, because this isn't linked. Oh, but I can put one there. Oh, dear. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but we'll burn that bridge when we come to it, as we say. There, and there. Right, so that's my pipe. So the steam is still getting its way in. So at the moment, system is running exactly as before, except I need to move that to there, and then somehow that means I need to get power into this area. So we can put one there and there, I suppose. That's at least going to work. So we're chucking the fish out onto there. Okay. So I think given that, this might as well be the fish belt, and then this can be the steam belt, which fits. I don't know. They're going to get swapped over down there. That's fine. So along here, we would like to filter to fish. That's filter of fish, not fillet of fish. So you are to be taken where a fish green? No, fish are not green. But sacrificing fish. There's the fish. Like that, and then we want one of these filtered to solid steam. And that goes in there, and there, and yeah, this is where we have the problem. Yeah. So this is where it's not going to work, because that is in the wrong. That isn't in the right place. I'm going to take that out for the time being, and then think about things over here. So this bit is easy. I pull out that and that and that and that, and then bring that to there for the fish disposal. Then I bring this to here, and I put in a splatter like that, and I say output priority to the right, because we want to power the factory by priority, and then shove anything else down this way. Right, so that now works, except that we're jammed up down here still on the steam. So, and I could pull up a load of this and chuck it in the unsteam engines up here. And that will get... Oh, and it is being pulled through, just slowly. So I can chuck that in here, and that'll get rid of that. So there we go. This is now working as we wanted it to, except I've had to move out one of the machines. So there is one square free on this side. I could easily make there be 2 squares free on this side by shuffling the belts around a little bit. So I guess the answer is going to be, or could I make 3? Yeah, there's plenty of room for 3 actually. So the answer to this problem is to pull up all of this area like this, get myself a whole mess of fish, then copy that to there, pull out that, have this come over to here like that, and then sure, that can do that, why not? Then the fish belt comes round the edge of here, in there like that. Okay. And then this one, we put the splitter in. Put the splitter in here. Output priority to the right. And then we have one belt come down here like this. So, and the other belt like that. Okay, that is now all working as it should be. I can take out that inserter because it's not doing anything. We've got a little bit of space over here, but that's okay. Yeah, there we go. I think that's fine. That's true. Yes, I could. Yeah, you're right. I could put in a refinery and some unboilers over here to just make the fuel in at this point, and I could have done exactly the same over here. I did not think of that. I thought this is where my sprite is. Oh, but I would have needed several of them. Because you need one to produce the forbidden grape juice, then you need another one to produce the sprite, and then you need the unboiler to produce the solid fuel. So yes, I could have put something in here, but I would have needed to put in at least two of the refineries, and they are slightly expensive due to using an irreplaceable resource. Well, a resource that is limited in that I have to go off and find more of it. I can't just make more of it or get loads and loads of it out of the ground. But yes, you are quite right. In any game, you're your own worst enemy. I mean, that's true. I've probably caused myself more problems than the biters have caused me. I can't really argue with that because it's basically true. Hello, Gareth. Welcome. Thank you for joining the stream. Good to have you here. Yeah, I do sort of need the fish. Yes, sort of. Although at the moment the fish are all stuck behind the steam. So let's grab some more steam. I've got the same thing along here. So these are outputting. These guys should be only outputting fish. Fish. Like that. And then I need a second set of inserters along here, bringing out the steam. Bring out your steam. Bring out your steam. And then a lot more careful application of pylons. Right, so yeah, there's some steam trying to go out onto the fish belt here, but that's fine because it will be sorted over here. We just need to flow enough of the steam through here that whenever any steam gets to there like that, it doesn't block it, and there we go. And it is getting used up gradually, so this is probably okay. And having sort of, yeah, we've got enough solid steam up there on the belt. The fish are coming through. Yeah, I think this is largely okay. It's just going to take a little while to pull all the fish through and all the steam through, and it's probably then going to sort itself out. We do have a box over here. Yeah, there's not very many in the box. It's probably fine. Oh, that's because every time it jams, the box empties. Fair enough. Let's take some more steam from here. Ooh, more steam. Steam. There we go. That'll let that run nicely. No, you can't have the steam. You can have the steam. There. Okay, I think this is probably okay. We've got a nice healthy supply of upgraded fish going along here. Maybe we could do with more machines fishing up the fish, but it's probably good enough. Yeah, the number of fish on here is going down. So I think, yes, we're making good progress there. So this is now unjammed, and if I check out a pylon, we should see, yes, there we go. We've got plenty of electricity again. So that's good. Right. Yeah, so yes, Board Easy, the fish have a do have a use. They unlock science productivity, which is quite valuable and therefore kind of worth having. These have not produced an output yet, so it seems like it's probably okay. But you never know. There might be a sort of a 1% chance or a 10% chance. I just haven't seen it yet. We will find out later. We will see how it goes. Yeah, it was sort of tempting to. It was tempting to switch the entire factory over using solid fuel instead of fish, but instead of coal fuels, yes. But I decided not to. Yes, it probably is about time to research a bob. Actually, let's have a look into that in a second. Oh, I see. You're catching up, Ink. So that makes sense. Yeah, I can imagine that I would be fairly incoherent at 3 times speed. I'm sort of flattered that you imply that I'm coherent at normal speed. That's nicer than most people are about me. Okay, let's get some more labs because I do want my science to run a bit faster. I think that would be nice. What am I doing, letters? Well, I am playing Factorio Fun Mode. I almost don't know how to describe it. It's sort of base game Factorio, except many silly things have happened, like starting with simple things like the assemblers being a different shape, going on to slightly more complicated things like red circuit production having a byproduct of seahorses, which I'm then filtering out, and the seahorses are useful for other stuff. And then we can make fish, and then we can upgrade the fish. So this machine over here is making fish 6. So all my fish have been upgraded from fish 1 to fish 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6, and then we're just making better and better fish. And I think we've got down here we've got 1,500 fish 6. Now, am I ready to sacrifice them? No, I need fish 7 to sacrifice. And how do I make fish 7? Fish 7 is made from rail, which I haven't done yet. So once I get ready to make rail, we'll start sacrificing fish 7s. So yeah, it's a lot silly, and it's sort of slightly trolley and a bit ridiculous, but it's good fun to play. So, what was Bob? Bob is an inserter that was adjusted a little too much. So maybe it's going to be Bob's adjustable inserters. Maybe it's going to be something, but more likely it's going to be a ridiculous version of the same. I don't know. We will. The fun is in the finding out, and we'll do that at some point in about 48%. It's going to be a bit slow actually because that's probably taken in the entire. Oh no, actually it's still ticking over. I was going to say it's probably taken in the entire supply of burner inserters. Yes, burner inserters are now a science pack for us. So, yeah, I was going to say, I thought it had taken in the entire supply of them, but no, they actually seem to be holding up pretty well. I reckon we've probably got enough on the belt in total. Oh, this one. Yeah, I think I've been reading out the descriptions. I may have missed some. It is quite possible. I'm not sure. Okay, so I have done some things. I have made liar boxes. I've made lab 2s. There are many researches to be done. Quite a lot of them take the burner inserters, so we'll be doing a few more. Yeah, I definitely want this one actually. Now we've got a decent number of burner inserters. How many? That's 100. I'll queue that up after the mining research. Yeah, I'll just move these around a little bit like that. There we go. Oh, that's another one that requires inserters. All right, we'll alternate between insertory ones and non-insertory ones because my supply of inserters is not as fast as my supply of the rest of the science packs. Okay, and that sounds very useful. Getting pinged when a transport belt rotates itself. So what's the next thing to make? Maybe it is going to be rail and then starting to be able to sacrifice my fish. I've got all these things as well, so these sacrifices that I can still do. So actually some of these are probably worth doing. Get myself a little bit of extra productivity. Let's pull through, let's rip through those. What can we do? We can sacrifice 1,000 greel. Okay, well, let's go back over to the source of the greel and get it from there. The green slurpy juice, sure. Microgrit fast, 500 of those. That's quite a lot. Solid steam. Okay, we've got a lot of spare solid steam now. Greel, cars, 20 cars. Okay, 5 grape juice springs. I haven't really got those yet. Explosives. We haven't got explosives. I certainly haven't got logistics bots. So, yeah, there are more things to sacrifice, but we're not quite there yet. So, have you got any? No. I would like to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We will sacrifice the greel Boink, like that. Right, there we go. Oh, 10% lab productivity. Okay, that's really worth having. Maybe it is worth pushing for some more of these. Like making some cars and so on. So we'll go for the easy ones first, like light green Slurpee juice. That'll be up here somewhere. There we go. That's the belt to stand on. Go and slurp me some juice. You're light green. Yes, you are. How many of them was it? Light green, 500. And I've got two. Did you say I've got 203? I have got 203. Gosh. Now I've got almost 400. That looks like more than 500. Oh, some of them are greens, are normal green Slurpee juices. Fine. Oh, there we go. Sacrifice. Oh, I'm making another 41. I don't want to do that. Let's just grab them off the belt. That's a much more sensible way of doing this. Shoomp. Right. It's almost enough. I can make I can cope with making 7, and then we'll put these ones into here because I don't know. What? The the lab 2s don't take normal green science pack. I mean Slurpee juices. Now that might not matter because I've gone from the prototype green science to the normal green science to the advanced green science. So maybe that's not going to be a problem. And if so, that means I can stop feeding this in here. Which means, and I can stop feeding this in here. Which means I've then got room on the belts for another 2 types of science pack. And that's very valuable. That's worth knowing, because now that's going to give me space for, I don't know, purple and yellow and white and repair packs and labs and boilers and explosives and pioneer packs. So yeah, it's not necessarily an easy fix there, but it's going to make things a little bit easier. Let's put those in there. There we go. What was I doing here? Oh yes, I was playing with I was upgrading my light green Slurpee juices. Let's go in there. There. Right, so I've done. I've sacrificed that. Then it's micro grips and solid steam. Probably 1,000 solids. 1,000 solid steam. That's a lot of solid steam. I don't really want to pick that up from just running along the belt like this and gathering it, because that way lies madness. Although if I stand here, I can collect it from 2 belts at once, which is, you know, a step in the right direction. How am I doing? 2, 4, 6-ish. Actually, this is coming in pretty quickly. 700. 800. 900. That's about 1,000. Boop. That's 3 over. That's not bad for a sort of just grabbing stuff off a belt and hoping for the best. So there we go. Bing, another 10% lab productivity. I'm going to sacrifice one of these, and it's going to be a minus 30%, isn't it, or something stupid like that. Okay, those were the easy ones, so I'm happy with that. It's also started pulling all of that stuff through, and yes, the fish production is now a little bit more under control. We've emptied the fish belt up here and started upgrading them all. Okay, good. That's fine. Oh yeah, Bob happened, and I didn't see Bob happen. Bob was researched. Okay, it didn't warn me about anything there. Bob is a inserter. There we go. Here is Bob. Bob is a long-handed inserter and 25. Let's make a Bob, because why wouldn't I make a Bob? I've just researched him. I want to find out what he can do. I feel like he's going to be an incredibly long inserter, because it's a long-handed inserter and then an additional 25 sticks. Yes, it is. It's an incredibly long inserter. He's pretty quick, I'll give him that. This might actually be a valid way to move things around the factory. Okay, well done, Bob. I don't know where we're going to use you, but I look forward to finding out. Alright. Okay, we'll try and work out something to do with Bob later. Okay, so what on earth? What else is going on in the factory? What am I going to do next? Have I learnt about another science pack yet? I don't think I have. Oh, yes, I have. I've learnt about the Pioneered science pack, which requires me to make coal gas. Okay, so having done the Pioneered science pack research, I now have a lot of nonsense in my fluid handling area. So let's work out what's going on up here. So this makes okay. Coca-Cola can be turned into greasy orange juice. Greasy orange juice can be turned into Sprite. Okay, that's just normal cracking. Fine. Additionally, we have advanced soda processing, which can make a grape-flavoured fish, Coca-Cola, greasy orange juice, and Sprite. Okay. Then we have tar cola, which goes from tar to Coca-Cola. Fine. A grape juice spring can be made from 10,000 tar. Coal can be made into coal gas and tar. And then science packs are made out of coal gas. So I'm going to need to have an area that takes in coal in order to produce coal gas and tar. And then that coal gas can be turned into the pie pack. And then the tar we'll have to then turn into Coca-Cola, and then we can turn the Coca-Cola into orange juice and then into Sprite in order to get the things that we are actually. Well, I don't know. Actually, we're not. Are we using Sprite? I know. I'm turning some of it into. Oh yeah, the Sprite's being fed over here to make plastic. Okay, so yeah, if we do that, I can put some pumps in, set some logic up, and make sure that we feed we've got a feed of coal here. Yeah, this seems eminently doable. Right, so the next question is, what machines do I do all of this in? Because I know that's going to be complicated. Bob does not need power. Impressive. Yes, you're quite right. Bob is hard-working and powers himself. I am not accepting responsibility for you having Bob the Builder in your head. I accept no bobbings. Oh, we make the pie pack. Pies are made in the soda machine. Okay, so I'm going to need to make some more soda machines. That's okay. Can do that. Although if I need many of them, I'm going to need to do some exploring and go and find. There was another oil patch out. Grape juice patch out there somewhere. So I'm going to need to head out and find where it was again. I think it was up here, but I am not sure. Okay. What am I doing? Right, okay, yeah, so that requires a soda machine. That step also requires a soda machine. That step requires a soda machine. So I'm going to need many soda machines. Do I still have a car? I do still have a car. Do I have anything to fuel it with? I'm literally on a solid fuel belt. There we go. Oh, yes, you're right. There was a recipe to make the patches. Yeah, but I need 10,000 tar when all you need is a spoon. When all you need is some cola. I'm not going to have 10,000 tar until I've set up the rest of it. But that is a very good point. I can steal a load of that tar. Actually, I could repurpose. Given that these are all just making forbidden grape juice in order to make soda, these could be. I can repurpose some of these because I don't need. These aren't even all running. Actually, they are all. No, they're mostly running. Yeah, I don't need this many. So let's take out 3 of these, like that, and recycle those, because, as I say, I don't need. If I'm going to be producing Sprite as a byproduct eventually, then I don't need anything like as much forbidden grape juice. Oh yeah, he called yes, in Iron Man he called the robot arm Dummy, but I don't know whether that was a nickname and it was actually called Bob. Right, so you are going to be doing the Coca-Cola solidification. Right, okay, sure. I don't have that much Coca-Cola to play with, so we're going to be doing the we're going to want to do that, but when we want to do that, we need to do that. Yeah, that's the one. We need to do that one. So this seems to have actually worked, so I'm not going to mess with what this box is doing. I'm going to put in an inserter there. So that's coal in. And then up here we're going to have various types of goop coming out. And I'm going to need to then re-goop those. And I need to put this far enough away that things don't go horribly wrong. Right, so you're doing that one, which is making the coal gas and the tar. We will turn the tar into more grape juice springs actually for now, until we have a quantity of them. So that, you see, this is why I put it a distance away like that, because now I can put in a pipe there, and that is now correctly linked up, without me having to worry too much about exactly where everything's going. Then we'll just have you dump out into a box here, I suppose, because that's what we do with stuff. Right, then next to that, we'll put in another one, and I guess we're going to have to make the pie packs here because we're going to need a quantity. We're going to need a quantity of pie pack at some point. So put that there and there. Let's link those two together. So you're producing 150 gas per second. You're using 38 per second. So I could do certainly 3, maybe almost 4. So put, I think I have some more of these available. This is fine for now. This is a prototype and a proof of concept. So at this point we are we've got the science packs being made. I need a belt to take them away. But that's fine. We can do that. And an inserter to take them away as well, I suppose, to be fair. So we can do that. Then on the other side, we're going to need something to use up the tar when we have an excess of it. So we turn it into Coca-Cola. And then we turn the Coca-Cola into... Not in one of these. Then we turn the... Then we do in an offshore assembler. Okay. Do I have any concrete left? I have very little concrete left. We'll come back to that because that is a problem for later. Yeah, Twitch problems, that's a shame. Twitch fish iterations are a scam. They're slowing down my old fish artificially to force me to upgrade. I have more fish than I know what to do with, so I'm kind of okay with that. There's another use for cola I haven't looked at, is there? You are probably right, but somebody turned off Factoriopedia, so I can't tell. Forbidden grade that produces Coca-Cola and greasy fish. We can turn Coca-Cola into coal, but I'm imagining that's not going to be particularly useful because I'm taking in coal in order to make Coca-Cola in the first place. But actually, the numbers could make this possible. So 65 Coca-Cola, so 6.5 Coca-Cola to make 1 coal. Down here we have 15 coal to make 50 tar. And then over here we have 100 tar to make 50 Coca-Cola. So is that 50, so each coal makes 3.5-ish, 3.5 tar, and then each tar makes half Coca-Cola, so 2. Okay, so that is actually a net positive. So I just feed in water and I can make infinite coal. All right, we'll probably add that in a bit. For now, I have a plentiful supply of coal, so I'm just going to be lazy. Right, so there we go. Making stuff. Oh, typical. Right, and so you are, yes, you're gradually filling up with tar. We need 10,000 tar to make a grape juice spring. But at the moment, it's just a byproduct. So essentially, I'm turning coal into oil patches, kind of. We've got a nice new shiny coal patch down here, so I'm not too worried about running out, at least in the short term. And then we've got a bit more being produced over here, which is being prioritised. So yeah, I think we're going to be okay for coal. I don't mind turning some of it into additional, what do we call it? These things, additional soda machines for now. And up here, have you made any more? No, because you've run out of these. Let's give you some of these. Like that. And another one. And another one? No. Well, we're making 2, I suppose. That is a start. Yes, absolutely. The map being reset means I just lose the plot and the everything. It is very, very confusing. But that is part of the fun of the mod. Is this part of Planetary Pioneers? No, this is nothing to do with Planetary Pioneers. This is a completely separate mod which just enjoys trolling me and causing silly things to happen, which is entertaining, but also utter nonsense. Have I run out of pipes again? Apparently I have. So, like, for example, turning, yeah, I was going to say this is obviously completely different to Planetary Pioneers because we're turning coal into tar, and then we're turning tar into grape patches and pine packs and Coca-Cola. But actually, that's the sort of thing I wouldn't be too surprised to see on one of the sillier planets in Planetary Pioneers. So, yeah, but Planetary Pioneers is indeed, as Quago said, is a Monday thing. Yeah, the fish are all a sort of fish are a sort of a thing for upgrading the science labs, and that seems to be the main use for them. If you're trying to maintain your sanity, I'm not really trying to maintain my sanity. I'm just sort of seeing how much of it we can keep as the game goes by. But it'd be nice to have a little bit of it. Right, so we'll make a second set of science packs over here. Eventually, as I say, I think I'm going to be able to run. What was this? This is 150. This is about 40. So I'll be able to run 5. Maths is hard. 80, 100. No, I'll be able to run 3.5 off this one, and then eventually we'll start turning this back into cola, and then into. We'll do the loop, and we'll make the free coal because why wouldn't we? But for now, I'm sort of okay with that. Are you normal water? You are normal water. Okay, good. In fact, you know what? Let's set that up now. So I'm going to put one in here. You're going to be doing the... hang on. Wrong machine. So, yeah, we need to take the Coca-Cola. We need to turn it into... No, wait. No, we want to do that one. That is a soda machine. We want to do the Coke into Coke. Hang on, was that water 1 or water 2? That's water 2. Okay, I need to bring in a supply of water 2. That's... manageable, to be fair. I will sort that out at some point. So we would then bring the... Put that there, because why not? That one. No, oh yeah, that's the right way around. And then we can pull the coal out here, feed it in here, and then we will have infinite resources. Yeah. Yes, and that could potentially offer me infinite fish. You're quite right. Right, water. Let's go and think about water 2. Let's not run into the cliff because that'd be embarrassing. So I made pump jack 2s. Was that down here? No, it wasn't. I don't think. No, it wasn't. So I made not pump jack 2s, offshore pump 2s, in order to get water 2. Water to where? Water to there. Nope, it's not along here. Oh, wait. There. Yep, there we go. There's pump jack 2s. Not pump jacks, offshore pump 2. So I can grab me... Hang on. Well, actually, no, wait a minute. I'm using water 2 somewhere else. Oh, it's just over here. And it's produced incredibly slowly, isn't it? Yeah, 5 water 2 per second. Okay. So, yes, I'm going to have those. 19 of them. Blimey. Oh, fun mode inspired some Rubia mechanics. Okay, that's lovely. Yeah, we are going to end up on Rubia eventually. I wouldn't like to say when, but I'm sure it'll happen. It's on the list, so we will be seeing what that one's like when we get there. Let's make some more pipe because I almost certainly don't have enough. Pipe. 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 And then magic of copy and paste. I said paste. Shift paste. There we go. Paste the shift. No, shift the paste. Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say. That much and that much. And you know what? It's easier to click on the end of it like that. Boink, boink. These bots are astonishingly slow. At some point, I will develop real bots. And probably find they're even slower, and because the game's going to troll me with them. But still, that'll be might be an improvement. It's always a funny corner bit. Right, so that's that set up. Let's go and yeah, we've got Coca-Cola coming, we've got water 2 coming. You've got Coca, yeah, you've made some Coca-Cola. Let's get another one of those machines because I did make an additional one. Yoink. I've got an additional 4 apparently. Didn't know I'd made that many of them. Right, whack that in over here, like that. Boink. Wait, what? Oh, those are outputs. Wait, they're all outputs. No, they're not. Okay. X-Fret, you sod. There we go. That's definitely a troll. Having outputs of a resource on a machine that clearly doesn't need to output it, just so your piping all goes horribly wrong, is very, very mean indeed. Anyway, there we go. We now have a supply of coal coming out here, so we can get rid of that inserter, and we can put a pile on there, and we can start feeding that in, and just see how it goes, I suppose. In theory, now the only thing here is I am stealing a significant amount of the tar to go in here in order to make grape juice springs, of which we have so far made none. So I kind of need to choose one or the other. I think we'll go with just this one for now, and we'll make the grape juice springs another time, because I can just go off and find them at the moment, and I don't need particularly large quantities of them. Coal liquefaction and vanilla. What there's an unnecessary output of something that you is there? What is there an unnecessary output of in coal liquefaction and vanilla? Let's give it some starter colony because that was difficult. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not complaining about a machine outputting heavy oil and inputting it. Hang on, wait. Oh. No, I got that wrong. Right. No, no, it wasn't that loop that I was complaining about. It was the fact that nearly all of the places where heavy oil is listed here are outputs, and there's only one input up here. And I got slightly confused. I didn't realise that I'd forgotten at the time that the Coca-Cola was being outputted as well. So that's on me. But, hang on, I seem to be running out of coal. Is my maths wrong? I thought this was a net positive. So this makes... Oops, that's not what I wanted to click on. Yeah, that's failed. This isn't a net positive. This is not a net positive. Let's chuck in a larger quantity of starter coal. Get this running and see how it goes, because it feels like this is not a net positive, and I confused myself. I did the maths badly, which is believable because given I was estimating. So this one here, we take in 15 and we make 50. So this is call it tripling it because it's slightly less than tripling it. Then over here, it's halved, so it's gone from 300% to 150%. And then here, it goes from 26 to 4. Yeah, that's much less than self-sustaining. So this is all nonsense. I don't want any of this. This is all bad. It's just losing. It's just wasting coal. Or artificially using up something. Those sort of problems. Why can I not go there? Oh, I'm in the way. Yeah, I probably didn't read all the numbers properly or something daft like that. So we are just going to make the grape juice springs here because that's sensible. And then we'll do something else. We'll do something else with excess, but it won't be making coal out of it because that's a huge waste. Because you're just. I mean, maybe if I wanted to get rid of the tar, it'd be sensible. But it's as it is. It's just a massive waste of coal. It is not a net positive. Right. Anyway, now we've done that. Let's move on to dealing with this science pack. And once again, I need to get something out on this corner, and there isn't room to do so. I think I'm going to run it down here till we get to here. No, that way. that goes like that, and like that, and that. Comes down the belt, gets to here, doesn't need to go quite this far, gets to here, and it goes under to wherever and under's end, which is about there. Then it follows that belt. Yeah, that's in the right place. Off into the wild blue yonder. Also, I'm running out of belts. Let's get some more belts. We're not making a lot of the pie packs, but that's maybe okay. I'll come back and upgrade it. But for now, yeah, who cares? Disappointed I can't produce infinite fish. Well, I suspect infinite fish wouldn't fit in my pockets, so it's probably best that I can't. Ah, that's not what was meant to happen, but it's okay. Want to get right, so I need to bring this through to here somehow. Now, the obvious and probably vaguely sensible thing to do here would be to feed that through to there, and then clear out all of this red science. So let's do that. That's going to get me a load of other science packs I don't want. Never mind. Okay, so you go to there, and we pull all this out like that, and then we can have the science packs pop up over here. You need all of that. Boink. Fine, take all my random other stuff as well. I feel like I chucked a lot more in there than I really intended to, but I'm sort of okay with that. It happens. Put that there, and then from down here, we want to be on this column. This column. Boop. No. Like that. There we go. And then I can bring this across here and in there. Right. That is a... Actually, I shouldn't do that. I should go underground with that, really. This should go like that. Just in case I want to use this part of the bus for anything later. Right. So there we go. That is all of my pie science. But that's okay. Do I have any dodgy, weird green science packs? Yes, I do. I've got a load of those. Those can go to that machine up there. Right. Just got rid of those. I've finished doing research. Let's do... inserted capacity bonuses are always nice. Portable fish reactor. Sounds quite good. It takes 200 pie packs, so I think we won't do that yet. Mill 4 is also pie packs. Spidertron is pie packs. Advanced material processing, I would need to get another science pack running. Let's find out about lube. Using Coca-Cola as lube sounds extremely unpleasant, but never mind, we'll do it anyway. Uranium mining, sure, why not? Breaking force, don't care. Lab research, we don't get. Mining productivity is nice, but meh. Explosive rocketry, that's fun. Distracted, follower, flammables, explosives, weapon shooting speed, bonk damage 6, that requires explosives. Dishonesty widget, we could possibly make another one of these, I suppose. We've got enough science to do that one, so let's pick that up because that sounds useful. This is very colourful. Very advanced soda processing. Gets me... geez, that's a ridiculous recipe. Pretentious water. Fanta. Distilled green. Tar. Forbidden grape juice. Processing fluid unit. What? Water 1. Great flavoured fish and solid steam. Okay. That is indeed very advanced. And what the hell? What am I going to do with most of those things? I guess we'll find out later. Pretentious water. We also get pretentious water separation to turn back into normal water and also make fizz, and then we can bubble off the fizz as we need to. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be any actual use for the pretentious water yet. But the fizz and the Fanta makes processing fluid units and less fizz. Okay, and we can void the green if we need to. Right. This is utter nonsense and absolutely ridiculous. I've not tried Defender capsules. I don't tend to really bother with... What? Why is that just in case I accidentally click on it? Why would I want to regenerate enemy bases? Oh, for goodness sake. Refined solid fuel. Make refined solid fuel refinery. Okay. And refined solid fuel. Is it better? It might be better. I don't really know. I'll probably research it at some point in the interest of completeness anyway. Okay. Ooh, cliff explosives. Atomic cliff explosives. That scares me a little bit. What do you need to make one of those? Grenade and uranium ore. Okay. Well, we'll have cliff explosives because cliff explosives are nice. I am very confused. I have no idea what I'm doing next. Part of me sort of wanted to try and streamline towards better robots, but I don't really have. I don't know how to. I don't know where they're hidden in the tech tree. So, oh wait, yes I do. Robotics, which gets me yellow science and rocket control units. And robotics is easy. Let's stick. Oh no, I can't do it yet because there's other stuff that I haven't found yet that needs to be done before I can do robotics. Okay, so I'm not getting bots for a little while yet. We'll just keep chugging through them then, and not worry too much about exactly where our next meal is coming from. I mean, our next research is coming from. Okay. Can I make rails? I could do another level of fish while I'm waiting. I can make rails, stone, sticks, and greels. All right, let's make some rail. I haven't really got a need for it yet, but maybe I'll go out and use them to make to get my next bring the uranium ore in. That's what I'm trying to say. Get rid of a couple of rocks while I'm at it. There we go. Rocks de-rockified. I've got used to that one now. It's not so much of a problem. Actually, I'm going to put this up to 60, just for the overcomplicated soda processing, because that is utterly ridiculous, and I'm mildly amused, but it's still utterly ridiculous, and is going to have to is deserving of that. So I'm going to make rail over here. Let's put that machine the other way around, just for a change. So you're going to make rail. And then we're going to make upgraded fish next to it. Because I think one machine making rail may well be enough for at least a while. Why have I got... Oh, I could probably put something up. So do that and that and that and that and that and... I don't know. Right, so you need stone, sticks, greel. So I need to make sticks. Do that there. So we have a belt coming in here with the iron on it, a belt coming in here with some of the things that requires on it, and a belt coming in here with the other stuff that this requires on it. So that, and that. Wait, no, that goes there because I want to bring more stuff in, and then that will go there so as to leave enough room for it. Also going to need one of those in there like that. Okay, so iron. Iron is the first thing. Split up. Undergrounds. Boop, boop. No. Boop. I've got all of these in the wrong place. Move you across to there. There we go. Nothing like getting your robots to just move your entire factory across one square, is there? Trains only move sideways. Cargo space is 3 slots. Runs on fish as a fuel. And trains are going to be silly. I'm sure the trains are going to have something ridiculous. Yeah, I'm basically agreeing with you there, Mark. Those are sort of the next sort of things I'm plan to work on. But it's just deciding which of those to do when there's all kinds of silliness occurring and trying to and I'm trying I had analysis paralysis basically. There's so many things that need to be made and I can't tell how to get to the next science pack. Although, as you say, some of the next science pack things, it could be argued that that I have lots of next science packs that I could be going off and doing. So that greel and Why have I got so many inputs there? I don't know what's going on. Ooh, hello, John Megacycle. Welcome. Good to have you here with your with all your friends. Thank you for joining. Have you been playing Factorio as well? I'm going to assume you haven't been playing Fun Mode because this is something weird that I've been. I'm not going to say bullied into playing by my fans, but it's something a little bit weird and unexpected. So I'm. Yeah, so I would be surprised if anyone else is playing it. But yeah, good to have you here. Hey Mitchell, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. No holiday tomorrow for me. I think there's one coming at the end of the month. We get May Day. No, we get an end of May bank holiday. But we can't be there yet. So it'll happen eventually. I thought I needed more inputs for this, something around here. So we've got the iron coming in for the iron sticks. Then we've got the stone and the iron sticks and the grill coming in for the rail. And then we've got, let's only make 9 stacks of rail because otherwise it'll get silly. And then down here, I'm going to have the fish coming in for the upgrading to fish 7. So we need to go and get the fish 6 to upgrade those. Fun mode it actually is good fun. You can't take it seriously because then you might go madder. But the reason there's a troll count in the top corner of the screen is because the game likes to do silly things to wind you up. For example, if I come over here, one of the first ones I discovered was when you demolish rocks. Where are my bots? Okay, when you demolish rocks, they turn into biters. Now, in the game's defense, if I mouse over it, it does say expected resources at 6 biters, so that's fair. But it does that. Then the science packs are all kind of messed up as well. So green science comes in lots of different stages. Oh, and they're all called Slurpee juices as well, because why not? So you make a light green Slurpee juice out of green circuits, apparently, and that does you for your first few green sciences. Then you have to upgrade it to normal green Slurpee juice, which requires that, and Greel, which is just steel painted green. That makes you your green science packs. They're good for a little while, but then once again, you eventually find that they don't work anymore, and you have to upgrade them further to the dark green science packs, which take in a rail signal, because why not, and also some distilled green. Distilled green is made in a greenhouse, because of course it is. It does colour separation. It turns solid steam, which you supply it on a belt, into the distilled green, which is a fluid, which you then turn into science, yada yada yada. Producing that is even more entertaining, for certain values of entertaining, because the whole power generation system is a bit weird over here. So you can start off doing it as normal, but then later on you get to turn the boiler makes steam as you'd expect, and then your unboiler turns steam into solid steam. And then solid steam power engines turn solid steam into electricity. To make things a little bit weirder, anything that burns coal produces fish as a byproduct. So up here we've got some. Is there anything actually? Well, yeah, up here we've got a boiler that is running away merrily, and each time it finishes a piece of coal, it also produces a fish. So the fish then get passed down here, where we've got these machines that are upgrading them to fish 2. The fish 2 are passed over here where they're combined with some copper cable to make fish 3, then fish 4 with stone, fish 5 with copper, and then and so on and so on. It's ridiculous, but it's actually quite good fun. Oh, my wooden roboport is probably out of fuel. Yes, you're probably right. Let's have a look. Yes, my wooden roboport. But it does give you bots right from the start of the game, which is very nice of it and very much appreciated. So let's refuel the wooden roboport. There we go. They're very slow, but they are very, very useful. Oh, and one of the most ridiculous ones is when you make red circuits, it produces seahorses as a byproduct. And every time you pick up or do anything with seahorses, you get a whinny noise. Not a sploosh, but a whinny. So, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, but it's good fun. I'm enjoying it due to the silly. Oh yes, I was getting some fish to be upgraded, wasn't I? I remember. I do feel I'm progressing quite slowly, but that has made the combat a lot easier. And also the sheer number of fish you tend to have has made the combat a lot easier as well, because you can just continuously eat them and heal yourself. Apparently, that's not normal for Factorio. I don't really remember what's normal for eating fish in this game, but apparently it's a bit more generous with the fish consumption than vanilla, allowing you to just keep chewing your way through them. And staying alive. I think this is the right. Yes, this is the right column. Yes, it is. So that comes down here to about here-ish somewhere, and then oh dear. No, line up with there. There to. Might as well just go there. I'm not going to use these anywhere else. So let's put them in here. It's also, I also feel that the length you can reach is slightly trolley. So I'm used to playing with long reach, but I've not got that installed for this game because I was advised quite strongly to just play with everything vanilla-y to see what it's like, basically. And so I did. I am just playing with literally fun mode and no other mods installed. But it comes with medium reach, which means it's long enough that a lot of the time things kind of work. But also, a lot of the time, they just don't. And I can't quite reach. And things like chopping trees down is really short reach. I have to get really close to the trees to chop them down. So there's a lot of weirdnesses in it, but it's good fun. I like it. Oh, yeah, I could put my fish onto this one, couldn't I? That's a good point. Never mind, I can reuse this one later, potentially. Oh yeah, yes. When you place a pump jack on an oil well, it just picks up the oil well, and you get one of these things, a grape juice spring, which you can then turn into a soda machine, which just produces a supply of forbidden grape juice. The forbidden grape juice can then be processed into Sprite, and if you use more advanced recipes, which you can't see from there, if you use more advanced recipes, you can produce grape-flavoured fish, Coca-Cola, and greasy orange juice as well, and even more complicatedly, I don't even see the recipe. Where is it? Maybe I haven't researched that yet. There is another one that also produces Fanta and La Croix, also known as pretentious water, and a bajillion other things. And I'm sort of slightly dreading seeing that one. Where was it? Was it down here? Have I no? I thought I did think I had researched it, but I can't see it. But I couldn't see it in the list of things I can do. Okay, let's do some more stuff. Also, you get a few extra science packy things like burner inserters. So yeah, why not? And boilers, which I haven't actually started feeding in there yet. Uranium processing, can't do that one yet. Electromotors will get that. Nope, can't do mining productivity because that requires explosives, and I haven't fed them in as a science pack yet. Laser shoes. Ah, here it is. This is the one. Very advanced soda processing. This gives us this rainbow of a recipe that takes in seahorses, coals, advanced circuits, sulfuric acid to steam, and produces solid steam, grape-flavoured fish, water 1, processing fluid units. I don't know what a processing fluid unit is yet, and I'm slightly scared to ask. Forbidden grape juice, tar, distilled green, Fanta, and pretentious water. So I don't know how I'm going to balance that when it comes out, but it's going to be an adventure. Right, and here come my fish 6s to be turned to 7s. 7s to be, no, my fish, yeah, 6s to be turned into 7s. So when I get up to 100 of them, I can sacrifice them for an additional 10% research productivity. So this is why I'm putting in all the effort to do all of the fish shenaniganery, because every level of fish you manage to produce, that's a 10% research productivity boost. And I think that's very, very worth having. Okay, John. Well, thank you very much for dropping in, and I'll keep talking. So whenever you wander past, then I'm sure I'll still be talking, and you can see. Let's see where it goes. Right, where am I? I'm going. What do I do next? Right. So I think, am I already making explosives somewhere? I might be, because if I am, I can just expand it and feed it into the into the labs. Don't think I am. I'm making sulfur here. I'm assuming sulfur goes into making explosives because that's what it normally happens. But no, that's only going into making blue science at the moment. Right, okay, let's make explosives. Coal, sulfur, oh. This requires water too, because of course it does. So there's a couple of possibilities here. I have coal, sulfur, and water too, all in this sort of area. But getting belts out of this area is getting more and more difficult, and I don't really want to have to do that all of that again. But there is actually a nice run down here. I could put it onto. I could put it onto the other side of this Pioneered science belt, but then it would interfere with the red science over here. So actually, I don't really want to do that. What I need to do is get over here and remove all of these green science packs from the system, so that I can put the next thing, whether it's explosives or whatever it is, in there. And then after that, I will have to move on and start doing something cleverer to get a third belt in alongside here. I might even need to move everything across one in order to get a third belt in on the other side as well, because there are quite a lot of different science packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 7 belts because there's also the fuel required. I mean, it's not impossible, especially if the labs are slightly bigger, but it is a little bit annoying. Maybe I should be just passing the packs through, but I don't like doing that because it always feels a bit too slow and a bit too limiting. So I won't do that unless I have to. But that's not going to be a problem for a little while. Okay, let's go and make... Yeah, let's make the explosives up top side. And then squeeze them in on the other side of this belt. And then filter them out at the other end and pass them in somewhere else. Because that's fairly easy to do. No, I don't want that actually. Right, bring that over there. I'm going to put in another one of these because 2 is clearly not enough. We're not making the science quickly enough. So put in one there and then link the pipes up like that. Are you now a happy bunny? And we're now up to 3, which is capacity. These should now be balanced, except they're not. So this is making... Yeah, this is making 150... Oh, is the inserter not... We're not putting the coal in fast enough. Do I have stack inserters? I mean, no, I don't. I don't have bulk inserters yet. Okay. How is that? Is that fast enough now? No! Still not fast enough. Jeez, okay. I might have to upgrade this belt to a red belt. Especially as I'm going to start pulling more coal from over here. Now we do have... Actually, I don't have to upgrade that much of it to red, which is quite nice. Because we've got a full yellow belt coming in there. It's going to steal the entire thing. But for now, I can get away with just going... Give me that. And then come over here and upgrade from here. Thank goodness, red belts seem to work in exactly the same way they do in vanilla. I wasn't certain. It was a bit of a risk, and I'm glad to see that they do. Explosives are made in an offshore... I need more concrete. Explosives are made in an offshore assembler, which is an assembler that you have to put in the water unless you put it on concrete. You can put a concrete base down, so have some foundations, and then your and then an offshore machine can work onshore. So I'll come all the way over here. Grab the concrete. I said grab the concrete. We need more stone bricks. I don't have stone bricks. Okay. What is concrete? Concrete is iron ore, stone brick, and water 2. So I'm going to have water 2 there. Oh, my brain hurts. We don't have iron ore. I mean, there's iron ore in there, so that's okay for now. But I need to come over with stone bricks, which we have here. We have somewhere. Here. Here they are. I don't want to bring them out. I also then would have to bring ideally I would then bring the iron ore out from here, and I'd bring the concrete in as well, and it all gets a little bit much. But that probably is the sensible thing to do. Okay, let's have another belt here that brings in iron ore and stone bricks, and that's going to keep this running. We then also, that's going to be a long inserter for that to actually work. There we go. And we'll also have another one there that's going to bring out concrete. I don't need enormous amounts of concrete yet, but I'd like to have, I think having a supply over in a more accessible area will be quite nice. Get rid of these trees, they're annoying me. And then I'll bring no. Right, and I can copy that and then just oh, Magentide is still in the way. If you could just get lost, that'd be very much appreciated. Go away. Shoo. No, it doesn't want to shoe. I guess we're going to have to do just have to go round it again, which is ridiculous. There, like that. Right, and now, you know, I'm just going to go like this. So the black ghost things, for anyone who's wondering and hasn't seen the previous episodes where I've had interactions with them, they are sort of harmless. They don't hurt you, but if you touch one, you'll get stuck and unable to move until it moves away from you. And the same is true for your bots as well. So if I put a blueprint down in there somewhere, a bot would go over and try and build it, and would then get stuck and just wouldn't be able to do anything. Maybe this is actually quicker. I think it might be actually quicker. Have we got the... oh, we have got the nuclear cliff explosives now. I should make some of those. But then that's going to need normal explosives. And... yes, it's going to need normal explosives. So this one I am going to have to do manually. Did I get the don't fall off cliffs research? Yes, I did. Okay, so I'm now safe from these things. So yeah, another thing that this mod does is when you first start playing, you don't know how to swim, and so if you fall in the water, you die. Also, you don't know how not to fall off cliffs. So if you touch a cliff, you die. I died a few times in the early stages of the game to these sort of trolleries, and it was slightly embarrassing and slightly silly. But now I've learnt about those, and it hasn't happened for a while. Fortunately, I don't have a death tracking mod installed. Otherwise, that would be a whole lot of nonsense. Crapskis. Right, so you, which way are you flying? Right, you're going that way. So go under again. Oh, bother. Pop up here. There we go. That works. I'm running out of underground belts again, as is traditional. And then there's an annoying thing here. So, right, I'm going to want to pull... Ah, this is sort of handy. So if I bring you there and... How am I going to... Right, bring iron ore in here. And down, and that splits that. There, that'll do. Because then I can put this here. There we go. There's the stone bricks heading off to be made into concrete. Right, that actually works. And now I just need to get the iron ore onto this one, which is going to be a whole other thing. And then I've got a supply of concrete on this belt, actually, which is good enough for now, because I just want to run over and grab it when I need it. I'm going to need more underground belts, because I've got down to 5 of them. Conveniently, I kind of procrastinated on building my belt production blob, and so it's all the way over here, which means I don't have to run quite so far to get to it, which is nice. So we are going to have iron ore come in here, because this is the next space available on the bus. We can, I think for now, I'm just going to overlap it with the seahorses. I don't care if that's naughty. Because it's not going to be going very far. In fact, it's only going to be going to here. So do that with this one. And then this can go under all of this. Boop, ba-doop, 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 boop, like that. And now I just need to get some iron ore onto this belt, which is the next challenge. So if I stand here, right, I can run this one along all the way along here, all the way back over to the mining area, and get some iron ore from that. Would it be easier to bring it over by train? No, probably not, actually. But I will need to find a way of extracting... No, 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 just no. Also not, no. Right. Let's go and find some iron ore. The iron ore is, of course, on the other side of this all of this. Which is going to make this mildly challenging. Can I build over there? No. Can my bots build over there? No. I'm going to have to go around this column. So this is another of the early trolls that you discover. This is a furnace stack. It is one item. It is a stone furnace stack. It consists of a single stone furnace that runs at 24 times the normal speed. This is the sort of stuff we are dealing with in this mod. but you get used to it. And as I say, it's good fun, really. Okay, I can sneak through here. As long as I can pull that up, which I can, then we can come through over there. You can go, and you can go as well. Actually, that's going to make it even easier, because I can then bring this through here until I run out of reach. Oh! No, I've run out of belts. Oh, for goodness sake. So close, and yet I only need to join that to there, and I'd be done. But no, we can't have any of that. That's far too far away. Let's go and get some more stuff. Hello, welcome. Oh, hello, regular. Welcome. Yeah, maybe if I attack one cloud, another one is going to come and attack. Is going to come and want revenge on me. That does seem entirely reasonable. Give me that. 891, honestly. Trump. Let's go back and finish that belt. Then we can get the iron ore. Then we can get concrete. Then we can get. I don't know. I don't even remember why I'm doing any of this anymore. That comes over here. And up here. Oh, yes. Yes, I want the concrete to make the foundations to put down offshore assembly machines in order to make explosives, because that's my next science pack. That was it. So we should be getting some concrete. Yeah, there we go. There's some concrete. Just what I wanted. Num 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 num. Right, so now we've got some concrete foundation. I've got 82 of it. That'll do for the moment. So over here, I need to get sulfur and coal. Let's check. Coal, sulfur, and water too. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a spur. So we're going to have, you're outbound, aren't you? So I'm going to do that and say I want you to filter out coal. That's the right way, even in the right direction. Nice. So it goes up there. Wait, no, it doesn't. It goes across there like that. And then up there. Similarly, we do that there. And then that goes there. And then we can belt in there. Underground comes back up again. Nope. There. And we belt over to there. Right, so those are my two of my inputs. The third one is water 2, which is up there. Comes from my pump jack 2, because why wouldn't it? So let's put down some foundation so I can start building things. That's already the right size, isn't it? No, that's the right size. So I can now put down the assembly machine 2s, also known as offshore assemblers, like that, and then program them to make explosives. They'll need power, that's fine. They'll need pipes, which is also fine. Pipe. Water 2, boom. Belt needs to go a little bit further, needs to come down here and then go across, and top side of that one goes in there. Right, so that's going to be both of those two flowing through there. I'm going to need to run very, very quickly down the belt once I get this running to make sure that I don't contaminate the other end with explosives where explosives shouldn't be going. But that's fine, we can run. Yeah, there we go. Explosives! Nice. Wait, what? Right, okay. So explosives are kind of volatile. Wait, what? Did I just get exploded by an explode? Yes, I picked up an explosive and it exploded me. Boom. Right. Oops. Okay. So wait. What? Okay. So how are we going to deal with this? Is there a clue in here? Because I need to ship explosives to my labs in order to do things like mining productivity 3. Do I need to direct insert the explosives into the labs? Or will then the lab explode? I've got some labs in my corpse. Let's go over there and try direct inserting an explosive into a lab. The problem is, if it does work, if I then pick up the explosives out of the lab, they'll explode. Although I might be able to use an inserter to do that for me. Oh. Okay, so yeah, stop escaping. Give me that. So remove the belt, because I did notice there's a small grace period before the explosion happens. So if I put a lab 2 here, I don't care about fuel at the moment. If I put then an inserter, right? Okay, so you have to direct insert. That's really mean. Yes, it exploded in my pocket. That's what killed me in the last time, because I picked up the inserters and the belts and whatever, all that sort of stuff. And I think one of the inserters was holding some explosives when I picked it up, so I ended up with that in my pocket. So that exploded, and that was what killed me. So no, you don't need me to pick that up again. We have already for science that one. How many are there that use explosives? So there's the Spidertron, and they do also use some fairly exotic stuff as well. I suspect that this is going to be down here, artillery. All right. Have fun with your cheaper artillery. How cheap is it? It's not sort of manageable. I was going to say, yeah, so there's not that many that require explosives. So my first thought is, why don't I just have a lab over here and I can bring science packs over to it? But that's a bit silly. And also, I'm going to need explosives in quantities for making things like cliff explosives, because cliffs need to go away. So for cliff explosives, I guess that's fairly straightforward, because as long as I can get the water 2 flowing along the bus, then I just have a machine making the explosives and putting them directly into a machine making the cliff explosives. That doesn't feel like a problem. The science packs, though, are a bit more annoying, because every lab would need to have one of these machines, and I haven't left the space for that. It wouldn't be impossible to move my labs from up here to down here, and then all the belts are in more or less the right place. I just need to transfer them across to the other side of the bus. And then I'd have a little bit more space available, and I could start doing silly things like explosives feeding directly into the labs. So that's a possibility. Transport via train. It might work. But again, you've got the problem then of trying to get the train up close enough to the lab to shove stuff across from one of it. You're right, it could be an explosion of cliffs out of the bomb. That is possible, a bit like the literal plant. Let's just hope that's not the case, for the sake of my sanity. Right, yeah, I think I'm going to move... In the interest of sort of completeness and tidiness, have I always moved this slowly? Probably. Also, I'll swap back over to the wooden armour, so I've got my bots. I've got another dead body as well. Lovely. Yeah, so I will run the sulphur back up the bus. Coal is already up the bus. I'll run the water 2 along the bus, and I'll build an additional sciencing area. These are going to have... They've got explosives in there. I don't want to pick them up. They'll blow me up. Let's remove this inputs first. If I just... No, I can't pick it up. Can't pick it up. Mustn't pick it up. If I do that... Will they explode on the ground? No, they only explode on belts. Like that. Okay. A strategic demolition of this area is going to be extremely awkward. Oh, I could insert them into a chest. That's an interesting idea. I don't know if it would. I don't know if it would work. I have this funny feeling that if they're in a building, then they're safe. Because when the ones I put in a lab didn't explode. They didn't explode when they're being held in the assembly machine. They didn't explode when they're being held by an inserter. They didn't even explode when they're on the floor, which is a bit odd. I was expecting that to be dangerous. But no, it seems to only be either when they're on a belt or when they're in my hands. So, no, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Where can you... Okay. Go to there. Now we have an additional... that. Right. Okay, so there's my... Hang on, wait a minute. Are you water... Oh, you're water 1 and you're water 2. Water palaver. Right, let's bring this down this way. Oh. Fine, whatever. Let's bring this down here, pass it through over here somehow with the sulfuric acid, trying not to accidentally link anything that shouldn't be linked, which isn't too difficult actually, especially when I've got something to use as a... I'm going to carry on this way. I'm going to go underneath here, so there's no chance of accidentally linking things together that shouldn't be linked together. Can you tell this whole process is melting my brain somewhat? Because this is difficult and complicated and brain melty. Stop. Bit. Yeah. There. And then probably there and there. Because these pipes don't have the same sort of underground range that the belts do. Just to make things that little bit awkward. A little bit more awkward, sorry. That's English good. Oops. Right, so we are now into sort of a normal bus type area. So I'll put you there and then there. This is going to be the water 2. We're also going to need to bring sulfur along, and we've now got 1, 2 things on here. So we want to bring the sulfur out from here somehow and bring it over this way. Okay. We've already got coal over there, so that's fairly straightforward. So do that, and then that, and that. And no, I don't know. I'm not quite sure where this is going, so I'm going to do that. Then bring this up here and across like that. Okay. And now we start to bring this across as well. And I need to make more pipes, because I always do. Can I copy that? Yes. Come on, bots, don't be lazy. Oh, is this uncharged? Yeah, I've got to have any wood in there now. So you can have that. There we go. All right, bots can bot again. I don't think I put that in the right place. Let's be ready for this. I said let's be ready. I was not ready. I had the wrong gun out. Also, I put that in the wrong place, but I don't care. This is really doing my head in, can you tell? And I accept that's sort of the point, and that's probably where the fun comes from, at least for you lot. But we'll get this over there eventually, and then So then, here we go. We're basically there now. In fact, I think this is probably a good point to start doing my next set of sciencings. So let's have a think about this. I'm going to leave a bit of space for the sake of my sanity, what there is of it. Then we're going to put the labs in here, and so on. So belts are going to come in. We're going to have 3 belts on either side of either lab. 1, 2, 3, like that. We are then going to have an offshore assembler, which requires a chunk of this, like that. And I think if I put it there, then I can put my inserter. No, it won't reach. Drat. So yeah, I didn't count properly. I mean, I could use Bob the inserter, but I don't think that's going to be particularly useful. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe that's what I should be doing. I could take that down to only 2 belts on this side, but as I said, I counted up before. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So I need 14. So I need 7 belts, which is 3 on that side, 4 on this side, and I can get those all into this I think, because we can do 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, and then you do that for the 4th one. And this goes underground here. So that's how you get 4. That's how you load 4 belts into one science lab. Yeah, very Schadenfreude, yes. Inserter chain is a possibility, certainly. And bob inserters are quite cheap to make. Yeah, let's use a bob inserter. It's ridiculous, but it'll work. And things that are ridiculous but work are our favourite type of thing. Right, so that's that side of the labs. I mean, I'm going to need some enormous spaghetti to get all the science packs into place. This side is going to be the same with 1, 2, 3, and then like that and that and that. Oh, am I going to? Yes, I am going to be able to power these because I can put those there and there, which is gross because the inserters will be going straight through the pylons. But at this stage, I don't care. It's on the mod for being weird. So yeah, if we use a bob the inserter, can we bob it? We can bob that, and then we need to work out where to put the other end of it. There apparently. So put that there, and that goes there. Yeah, and then with this, boom, we're just inserting the explosives. Fine. A bob inserter chain to bring explosives over to science. That would be quite funny. But I think doing this is probably adequate. So let's have you making explosives. Explosives like that. And I just need to bring everything else in and out. And yeah, from here I can then also do that to make the cliff explosives, which are these ones, which are made in absolutely anything I want. Sweet. So I can put in a normal assembly machine here, like that, and tell you to make the atomic cliff explosives. So we get the explosives from there. We'll get the barrels from here, I guess. I don't really care. Barrels are easy. I assume. Yes, barrels are easy. Good, thank you. Oh, thank goodness for that. I wasn't sure for a moment. I hope they don't explode massively when you unload them out of I hope the atomic cliff explosives aren't as unstable. Grenades and uranium ore we'll worry about later, but that's just sort of a little bit of a sketch for that bit. So the thing is then, we're going to need all of that to there. Oh, no, actually, no, I'm going to need to bring in the sulfur and the coal and the water too. like that. There's my water 2. This is the sulfur and coal, and we'll need an inserter for that. And we'll need power for everything across here, like so. I've no idea what's going on with my bus at this point. I'm just going to build it out like this and hope we don't have too much other stuff that we try and bring in later. So we have that, and then we're bringing in the coal from up here. Like that. And then undergrounds. Like that, apparently. I clearly miscounted where my coal belt was going, because that was supposed to come out 1 square further to the left, but never mind. Right, and there we go. So that's, I mean, ignoring the power, which we haven't got yet, but if I do that and that, then we're powered. We're unfueled, sure, but we're powered. This is now working. So I just need to copy all of that to there, and that's my lab setup. And then I need to worry about all the inputs, sure, but... And that's I'm not going to say it's trivial, but it's a relatively lesser thing. You're supposed to prioritize deconstructions before constructions. Hey, here we go. Not as bad as it looked like it was going to be. Okay, so the next thing is going to be getting all of the science packs in to come in along here in the correct way. So this will obviously come in here. As usual, I would like to have a decent amount of space around all of them, so that can go there. We'll try for that, I suppose. We'll try for that. See if we can actually fit it in. I'm a little bit concerned that there's not gonna be enough room, but we'll see how it goes. Do that, and then that, and that, and that, like that. I suppose there's no reason that this can't be moved across one. I just need to move this pylon. And that's pretty harmless given that nothing's actually running yet. So do that and that. There we go. That'll be enough to get all of the science packs in on that side. Then over here we continue with this system. So that's if that's gonna be there, then we're in there, and like that, and then I hope this is going to be sufficiently future-proof. I thinking about it, there's a really good chance there's going to be another troll in the not-too-distant future. That means this entire design that I've come up with is just straight up not going to work. But we'll see. I mean, all I can say is we'll see, and hopefully this is going to be fine. And if not, then you get to watch me build another science park. Yeah, I need to make some more bobs as well, so let's do that while we're building. I can only make 2 bobs because I've run out of iron. Let's get some more iron. And that at least is an easy thing to source because it's right here. More bobs. And also more bots, apparently. And I need to lay this area down here as well. Okay. Oh, of course, bulk inserters are hidden in green, aren't they? Because they're green. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I probably could start making those. In fact, I definitely could start making those, and probably should. Oh, is this slightly? Yes, this is slightly too far, so I need additional pipes going all the way down here. I noted as I was doing it that there was going to be enough to fit the underground distance was enough for these when they're next to each other, but of course they have to be slightly spaced slightly further apart so that they can be opposite the lab 2s over there. Yeah, the science setup is 100% future-proof as long as I don't get trolled by anything. So it's probably going to break fairly soon. Why am I... Bob's not... There's a burner inserters, but why are my bobs not getting placed? I thought I already made another bob, but apparently not. 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Boobian. Is this ridiculous enough for everyone's tastes? I should hope so. Okay. Oh, it's a little bit easier actually because some of these belts have multiple things on them. So this is probably going to be one of those that will have multiple things on it. So actually, this can just go like that and then go under there and join onto there. Same with this one. This can go to there, and then I don't need these ears. But still, I built it all up down here, so it's fine. We'll leave it as is. So yep, and yep, and then we've got another. You're the dark green, so you're one of the ones I do want. So that needs to be brought down to here. Splitter, right? The splitter needs to go there. We need some underground there. That is going. Yes, that is going that way. Bring the dark green science packs through as well. Then we've got the normal green ones. We don't care. We don't need those. I thought I had more science packs than this. So I've done those two. I've done the one of those I care about. We need to bring in the burner inserters and the fuel and the red science. So let's combine these onto a single belt. I'll remove this. In fact, I'll rotate that way, and then this can go through like this. Just turn it all round. That doesn't work apparently. Oh, yes, it does. Comes all out the bottom here, and goes that way. So that's going to be my red. That's my red science, and is going to be my burner inserters because we do that. There we go. Burner inserters and red science, yes, coming down here. And then we bring that to, I guess it might as well be here, actually. Here. We're good. There's going to be a lot of tidying up to do in this area. I like how the long reach is very, very short reach for it's for destroying rocks, just to make sure that they happen right in your face like that. That's very very kind, very thoughtful. So pump that through there. We've got some of the fancy ones coming through as well, which actually we aren't going to need because they've already been loaded in. Yes, they've all already been loaded in from that side, but we'll worry about that soon. Pick up all the pies. Oops. Damn it. Like that. Pick up all the pies from along here. There we go. Then we need solid fuel coming into one of these, so that can come in. It can come in next to the green science. Why not? So that'd be here. There we go. So that's fueling the system, and I think that's everything. Let's have a look up here. What have we got up here? We've got we've got red science, done that. We've got pie science, we've done that. Inserters, done that, although they haven't got there yet. I'll need to clean some stuff up. Solid fuel, yes. Dark green, yes. Yellow, blue, yes. Grey, yes. Right, so that's all the science packs fed in there now. This whole area up here is now redundant. I can clear. I need to do some clearing up of the belt down here. But basically, this should now work. We should be able to do science with this new system for anything we want, including ones that use explosives, which is exciting and basically the whole point of everything we've been doing. There are, of course, going to be some pie sciences caught up in the splitters along here. I'm going to have to go through and clean those out. That's slightly unfortunate, but we can deal with that. Like this. And then I'm holding a lot of science packs I don't want, so we'll chuck them all in. Just chuck them all in a science machine. Right, let's try and do a science. Let's do one that involves explosives, like a Spidertron. A Spidertron would be lovely to have, so let's see if we can do that. Oh no, that needs repair packs as well. Complex doohickeys. Is there anything else that takes explosives? Yes, this one. Bonk damage 6. Let's do bonk damage 6 and see if things are working. I said let's not do Spidertron because we haven't got repair packs yet. Yes, that's working. Sweet. So I feel that things are generally set up properly here. Let's clean out some of these unnecessary belts on the ones where we've got things being fed in on the same belt already. There we go. That's nice. That one over here, I'm intending to put something else in on the other side of that one, but I haven't yet. So I'm going to leave that as is. Then I guess I need to come up here and clean all of this out. So I'll pull this bit out. And actually, let's take out this belt that goes up the middle of here. And then there's going to be an enormous amount of stuff to clear up from here. But why are you a splitter? I don't want you to be a splitter. I was going to say I can just pull up all of the belts and everything will just come straight to me. But no, that's not the case because I put in a splitter here like some sort of noob. Right, let's try it again. Now, I should just be able to clean up everything on these belts and it'll get all the science out of the system and I'll just neaten everything up. So I can grab all of that and all of this. That, if I run in the right place, I can anyway. And grab these as I go past as well. Or at least I could if my inventory wasn't full. Great. Oh, no, not that much. That much. So this is just going to... Oh, it's mostly filled up with solid fuel. Fine. If I go through here, can I just dump everything, including solid fuel, into that? Yes, I can. Sweet. So do that and that and that. I think it's just down to the solid fuels now. Come on, bots. Right, and then again, just sweep up here like this. And down here like this, get all of the loose stuff. I was going to say, well, the bots do the hard work, but the bots are just flying around in circles at the moment because they can't get to me. Now, I have broken one of the cardinal Factorio rules here, which is don't build on the other side of your bus. But I think I'm going to put up with that. Oh, okay, this is one I've been dumping science packs into before. So it's got a ridiculous number of them. I think I think the stuff I'm dumping into them is actually going to be okay. Sorry, I think having that under the bus is probably going to be okay. And we will find out later and you can laugh at me and tell me I've trolled myself if it isn't. That's pretty much how things work around here, right? Oh, my inventory's full again. So let's come back down here and again do an inventory dump into the science labs. There we go, and there we go, and there we're done. Okay, so can I pull that up now? Yes. So there are a few more science packs I need to make. I need to make furnaces, boilers. I need to make normal labs. I need to make repair packs. And that might be it. We'll see how things go after that. The spider will either be huge or tiny. Yeah, that does seem quite likely. I think John Megacycle was wandering in and out, Mitchell. He said he was going off to find some food, but he might have come back again. Yes, bus is indeed useful as public transport. I try and use it like that. Oh, there's a belt rotated on now. I'm just going to wait and see when it becomes a problem, to be honest. I don't think my sanity will allow me to go around just searching my factory for a random single belt that has changed direction. When something breaks, I'm sure I'll find it then and we'll go, aha, that's what happened. And there will be much glee and amusement and wailing and gnashing of teeth and other similar sort of things. That is a long name for a small inserter. Can I give you this? Yes. Can I give you this? Yes. Yes. There we go. Okay, I am somewhat cleaned out and things down here are looking sort of reasonable. Let's try and chuck some more sulfur away like that. There we go. Just clean up some space in the old inventory. So, What did I say? Yes, I said the next thing that I feel makes sense would be to start making the normal labs, because that is an ingredient, and feeding them in on another one of these belts, and the boilers, and there was something else as well. I can't remember what it was. Also, a bit more of this would be a good idea, because I've still got quite a few labs. So we'll take. In fact, you know what? Let's have some that work for explosive-based researches, and then some that just work and some that will work for all of the other ones, rather than making more bobs for the time being. Alpha inserter. Yeah, that picks up and puts down on the same square because it can't reach any further. You know, that could almost be useful for a machine that has a loop back. So you put the inserter actually on the machine, it picks up from the square and puts down on the same square, taking it out of the machine and putting it back in again. So for something like, well, there's loads of them in something like the Kovarex process, where you need to take out the uranium and then put it back in again. That could kind of work. I wish bots would work on the nearest things to you first, and then work on things that are further away as the nearer things get done, because then you'd sort of be able to have some... You'd be able to use them a bit more efficiently by standing near things that need to be built, and then they'd have done this underground belt here rather than flying off to do those ones. Or if I run out of undergrounds. I've run out of undergrounds. Okay, that's fair enough. But other times, they were doing things that didn't need to be done. Let's get some more belts, underground belts particularly, and then, yeah, and some more pylons. Oh, no, I've got loads of pylons, that's fine. So we've got a couple, I've got a column of construction somewhere. We'll make the labs and the, here's one. This isn't the one I was thinking of, but we've got one for simpler buildings somewhere else as well, I think. Undergrounds. Right, so somewhere over here. Yeah, I've got this. This is making fairly simple stuff. I don't like it very much, though, because it's sort of messy and spread out and old-fashioned. All right. Well, we can run another belt along the bus. That's not going to harm anything. So over here on this tower of construction, I will add in additional systems for building the two science pack things, which were labs and... oh dear, sorry. Labs and boilers. There we go. That's going to need stone. I'm not going to be able to do boilers here. I'm going to have to bring in. Oh well, we'll do the labs, and then we'll whinge about the stone a bit. So I'll put in what science per minute am I doing? Well, what science packs per minute am I doing? Over here, we've got these guys. What the hell is going on here? Ah, there's the belt that's been rotated. Right, okay. Well, that sucks, but at least we found it. Who are you calling an old man? Rude. Right, so down here we seem to have some green circuits on our seahorse supply. So we will go pull all them through, and then things can start to flow again, but properly. I do note there don't seem to be enough green circuits coming through for all the seahorses and red circuits we're using. Now, I don't know whether that's just because things were a bit broken, or whether there's an actual problem there, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But I've got lots of extra green circuits, so I guess I'll be able to put them in, go and feed them into the machines that need them. I don't want your seahorses. I said I don't want the seahorses. Could some of these machines take the seahorses, please? There we go. Right. There we go. And do I have any plastic left over? Yes. You can have that. Right. Said Fred. Well, that's that problem fixed. Now, where was I? Where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Why was I looking down here in the first place? I was going to make labs. Oh yes, I was trying to work out what speed I'm producing science packs at. So, down here... Oh, I haven't got the rate calculator mod. Funny how you get used to things. 0.4, so about a 20th-ish. How long do you take? What's going on here? So these take 24 seconds. So I've got 12 machines. 24 seconds to make 2, so I've got 12 machines. Okay, fine. So that means labs, basic labs, take 2 seconds to make 1, so I need 2 machines. Fine. That answers that question then. So we'll make labs, make more labs. And we need cogs, we need gears, belts even. Fine. Do we have iron over here? Yes, we do. Okay, that's not too bad then. You make belts. You make labs. I make tiers. You know what? I'm going to rotate that. Put it there. I don't know why. It just feels nicer somehow. Because I don't need either of these ingredients. So we'll just have, then we have a short inserter there, short inserter there, 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 there. And long inserters there and there. And long inserters there and there. And a belt coming out here to take the science packs away. Belts. I've got used to Space Age where you double click on things because of quality. That's kind of annoying because it's a lot of my muscle memory is wrong. There, right, so that's going to be making labs, which is going to drop onto here. The other thing was, I'm going to check that it was boilers, because if it isn't, I'm going to go slightly mad. Although I might just make the complex doohickeys here instead. Yes, it is. It is boilers. So boilers take stone, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, stone and pipe. So I don't want to do that here, really. However, on the other hand, doohickeys take iron gears and green circuits. So those I can do here. How long do they take to doohickey? Half a second. So I only need 1 machine to make those. So you get one of these. What did I say goes into this? Green circuits and gears. Fine. There's green circuits and there's gears. And this goes to here, which then goes to here and there, like that. And then we can get everything on the one belt. Right. Lovely. Just what I expected. Just what I always wanted. A belt full of science labs. But apparently they are now a science pack, so that's what we're going to do. Oh my god, it's crowded down here. Okay, we're going to come through here. And here. And down here. And across here. And down this way. And then we're going to go boop, ba-doop, 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 boop. And then run along next to the sulfur belt because there's nothing else there. Lovely. Did I link it in? Yes, I did link it in at the top. La 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 la. And just like that, 2 more science packs. Are you impressed? Don't all speak at once. So ideally, I'd feed this in on this side because there's plenty of space, but it actually, honestly, doesn't matter. So we'll bring it in here instead. There isn't plenty of space, but I was going to say I'll bring it in from here because they're all coming from this direction. But actually, they're all coming from that direction, so it doesn't make a lot of difference. I do seem to be a bit short of burner inserters. Those are not being made as fast as they need to be to keep everything suitably balanced. And burner inserters do seem to be getting used, and actually not that many of them. They're being used for the inserter capacity bonus there. But after that, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't use them. Could do the fission reactor. Could do the Spidertron. All right, let's do the Spidertron because everybody likes the Spidertron. Can't do that one. Can do that one. It'd be nice to move a bit quicker. Or make my Spidertron move a bit quicker. Hey, robotics. Sweet. I've been waiting for those. Oh, it was electric engines I needed to get robotics. Fine. So we'll get robotics and hope that doesn't seem to directly lead on to actual robots, but we'll see. It's a step in the right direction at the very least. 4 science packs today, exactly. Yeah, it's been going really, really well. I'm amazed. Power them with dirty wood so the bots are slow. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I suspect if you started referring to me as a little girl, there would just be a lot of confusion. A lot of it from me, certainly, and maybe from other people as well who weren't in on the joke. I'm getting used to these rocks now. I've learned how to deal with them. Okay, so here come my first handful of science packs. They're not actually. It doesn't feel like there's very many of them, but they should be being produced at the correct rate. Now they're clearly not, because there's an enormous gap here where there's no complicated doohickeys. Is something slurping up all of the intermediates? Yes, we're not making gears fast enough. Okay, and it's not okay, but. Oh no, it's because we're not bringing iron in fast. No, bother. Okay. Right. If the iron's coming in too slowly, well, I mean, I have a sneaky idea. If I put in a splatter here and I tell it to output the cogs to the left, then I can do this. Oh, it's going upwards. That's all right then. And this and this. Is there anything on the... Okay. And then I can chuck in another splitter here, and boom, there's lots of cogs. It may be cheating, but I don't care. Also, this is running from a separate iron feed. So those gears are coming from this belt, and everything else that's being made in the factory is coming from this belt. And this was because I was struggling to produce belts at one point, so I've now got a lot more. I had put in a second feed of iron to it. So now, with this second feed of gears coming through here, you could even prioritize the left ones, so that the iron is available for other things that will need it. Like, I don't know, but there will be other things that need it. And the coal is a little limited as well over there, which is a shame. But now, yeah, now we have enough gears that this machine seems to be working. It is grabbing them in as fast as it possibly can. But yeah, it is working now at speed, at rate. How are you doing? You look like you're probably not picking the gears up fast enough. Yes, you are not picking the gears up fast enough because you're a red inserter, and red inserters are somewhat feeble. Now we're going to run into a position where we look at this again and go, right, do we now have enough gears coming through? And the answer is no, because now they're all going into the lab production. So that's unfortunate. So I guess this is another. Let's upgrade everything to red belts. Yeah, we made some progress has been made. I've started producing fish 7. Got nearly 1,000 of those, which is lovely. Producing these things. We're producing pies. We produced enough pies actually. We are all pied up, and I've started producing. As far as science packs goes, I've started producing explosives, and I've already had burner inserters. I've started producing labs and complex doohickeys. All of those are science packs apparently, and I've moved my labs from here to down here. And I've trolled myself a few times by getting confused about... I've got confused about a lot of things as well. I've got a bit more water too coming out over here. I've got the concrete being brought over this way now, so when I need some offshore assembly machines, there's a supply of concrete without having to run all the way over here to find it. So I'd say progress is being made. It's just it's a little bit messy. Oh, and I made lab 2s as well. That was a today thing, I think. And complex doohickeys. No, it's a different complex doohickey. How many 7s? I need 100 7s before I can sacrifice them and move on to the 8s. It's 100 fish per. It's 100 fish per level. So I need 100 7s to get an 8. 100 7s to sacrifice for that one. So I can go and do that now. Then for 8s I need water 2. Okay, that's not too bad. I've got that in the area. All right, let's go. let's go and have a brief fish moment while we're letting the science build up for other things. So I have discovered, I've not researched, but I've seen Fanta and pretentious water in the list of things that I could be doing at some point were I so inclined. Where's my water? Oh no, the water 2 only went off to the west, not to the south on the bus. So let's go and get that. Hey, robotics finished. Nice. We like robotics. Ooh. Bot breeding. Okay. Construction robotics, fine. Logistics robotics, fine. Worker robot speed, worker robot cargo size. Let's get construction robots first. Then let's get bot breeding, because what the hell. And if I can make them efficiently, that's got to be a good thing. And a personal roboport would be nice to have as well, because that's the whole point of this. And if I'm getting that, then I'm going to need a fish reactor. A fishing reactor. And I'm going to need power armor. Yeah, power armor would be good. Let's just queue all those up, let them run, and then we'll see what we have at the end. See what we have when I get sort of... Oh, bum. This is not supposed to be on this lane. I have ruined the bus. Ruined the bus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's okay to put this here, though. Maybe bot breeding just means you get more well-bred robots, ones that are a bit more, upper class than your typical common robot, common or garden robot. Oh, I've run out. Yeah, this time I don't feel like I'm having pipes randomly stolen from me this time, because I am using quite a lot of them up, and they seem to be disappearing at an appropriate rate for that. So I'm not going to accuse the game of stealing my pipes. But last week I did feel like I was making pipes. I was making a load of pipes, and then there just wouldn't be enough pipes to do what I wouldn't have enough pipes to do whatever I wanted to do, and I was sure I'd made more pipes than that. I'm assured by Xfret that he is not randomly deleting pipes from my inventory, but I'm not sure if I trust him. Okay, so we next need to look into making fish 8, which is made in an offshore assembler. So that means a blob of thing. A blob of thing like that. And then we can put in an offshore assembler like that. And then we can load and unload and put in another wooden box down here for the next tier of fish, I guess. And then, yes, we want you to make fish 8. Yes, there we go. Water 2, which is this one. So bonk, bonk, bonk. Oh, power. That'd be good. Power. Right, so we'll take 100 of these. Like that, and then we'll do this. Sacrifice fish 7. Bing, 35 plus 35% lab productivity. Wow, that was worth going for. Chuck them in there. What other fish? I've got some fish 3 and some fish 2. Let's get rid of the fish 3 and fish 2 because I don't. Oh, it's a bit on the way back up. I'll try and remember to do that. Okay, so we now have 38. No, this is a really quick recipe. To the point where the inserters appear to be the limiting factor here. So let's speed them up. Because that way I can do this one as well before I go away. Because we're nearly at 100 there. Hey, portable fish reactor researched. So what do I need to make a portable fish reactor? It's probably going to be a lot of stuff that I don't have yet. But it's nice to know these things. It's green, isn't it? Yeah, so it is. I need a nuclear fish. I need low density structures. And I need processing units. All of which are things that I have not... I have literally none of these things at this point. Okay, well, we'll come back to that. So that allows me to do this one. And then we're on to fish 9, which requires grape flavoured fish, and then fish 10 is explosives, so that's going to be fun. But we know how to do explosives now. We've got all of the ingredients on the bus. It's not going to be too bad. And then it's nuclear fish for fish 11, and then white slurpy juice for fish 12. Okay. We're getting on to some fairly advanced stuff, which is fair. Fish 8, there we go. Hey, power armor. I am indeed a true Brit. Well spotted. What gave it away? Was it the accent? Bot breeding is the inverse of space exploration bots. Leave them idle for too long and they start overflowing. Yeah, that sounds quite fun. And yeah, I do seem to have acquired trust issues from somewhere. I can't imagine why. Right, power armor. Yeah, yes. Can I make power armor? Yes. That's pleasantly easy. Okay. I've got half. Oh, I need to make electric engine units. I haven't started making those yet. But mostly that's not too bad. I've got almost all of that stuff. I should probably make a power armor, but then I won't be able to make the fish reactor, so I just won't be. I still won't be able to have anything particularly useful because until I work out how to make nuclear fish, and I haven't seen those anywhere. No, I haven't researched nuclear fish yet, so I can't make the nuclear fish, which means I can't make the fission reactor. This guy, which means I suspect my power armor is going to not have any power, which means it's not going to be very useful. All these handy things, but I mean, I could use the lunar panels, but I suspect that wouldn't do me any good. Blame Mike. Yes, let's do that. Yeah, power armor needs needs power to. Well, probably needs power to move. Hello, Neuroplastic. It's going. Yeah, I'd say it's going pretty well. My brain is melting, but I'm being generally quite amused by it. I've just spent the last few minutes upgrading fish. So at the moment I'm making tier 8 fish, which I can then sacrifice for bonuses, and I've done so now, so I can't do anything else with them until I get fish 9, which is even more ridiculous and complex. I was trying to work out how to get power armor, and I reckon I can't. So I think a nice project now might be blue circuits. Oh, actually. I thought I'd unlocked them, but maybe. Oh no, they're part of. They're part of the ludicrous soda processing, aren't they? Yes, they are. Well, I can do that now. So let's do ludicrous soda processing. PLDs again. No bloody use until I've got. Until I can actually produce power in my armor, which means I need to find the nuclear fish, which is probably going to be it's probably going to be behind uranium processing. Maybe I should go off and actually find some uranium rather than just grumbling about not having access to any of the nuclear stuff. Do you think worker robot speed, he says looking for it, is going to upgrade my existing robots? Cliff explosive rocket. Okay. Oh yeah, I was going to make cliff explosives, but I need uranium for that. Let's do a worker robot speed, see if it affects my normal guys. Don't care too much about military 4, but I'll pick that up in case there's anything cool on the other side of it. I get personal robot Mark II already as well. That's quite generous. Inserter capacity bonus is always nice, especially if I've got some long-handed inserters that can't keep up. Can't do that one yet. Could do that. Don't care. Don't care. Sure, let's chuck in a mining research productivity. They're always worth having. Yeah, okay, that is some stuff. Let's go and have a look at the... Yeah, upgrading fish is... It's a thing. I'm not going to say I'm desensitized to the trolls yet at this point, but it has got to the point where I am less bemused and more amused by whatever happens. Okay, so we're going to go after the uranium ore up there. That's going to be fairly easy because I already have sulfuric acid here. Okay, I have to cross the belts of doom there. That's going to be interesting. So we'll get the sulfuric acid up to there, start mining the uranium, and then I don't know. We'll see where the temptation takes us. In the meantime, I think I'd better get some more iron because I'm going to need a lot of pipes to get it up there. Maybe I should get some more. Let's get some more belts as well, because I'm going to want to bring the uranium back down in one form or another, and I've only got a few hundred. And belts are just produced over here, so that's easy. I seem to be absolutely hammering my green circuit production at the moment, so that's a little unfortunate. Maybe I'm going to need to increase that. Oh, it's all getting turned into labs to be used as science packs. Is that belt starting to back up yet at all? Yes, actually, yeah, these are being produced faster than they're being used, so that's good. Yay, soda scientist! Good luck with advanced oil processing. You'll never do it. You're not smart enough. Oh, thanks for the vote of confidence there, Ep4. Much appreciated. I'm not actually going to look at that yet because I have other things I want to bash my head against first. Thousands of fish working together to form Fishzoid. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe you're right. Sacrificing the highest level of fish, an angler god will turn up. Or is that an angler god as opposed to an angry god? That does sound much safer. Right, so do that and then go, oh no, it's going to line up with the sprite pipe. So then come along here and go, actually I want you to go there. And then actually I want you to go there. And then we continue with plan A. I don't care if there's a hairy tree in the way. Just go and take the hairy tree away. Shave the hairy tree if you have to. I don't care. So, I wonder if I've got any drills with me. Yes, I have got loads of drills. Awesome. Pom 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 pom. Pipe, 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 pipe. Uranium! With some suspicious rocks on the patch, but we won't worry about those just yet because, to be honest, I don't need that much uranium for my very first uranium expedition expedition. Oops, whatever we want to call it. Boom, 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 boom. We do need power for all of these, of course, which is fun. But actually, you know what? I'm going to leave a gap. I'm going to leave a gap down the middle. The coverage of these drills is so wide, and my expectations for amount of uranium required are so low that I think I'd rather just whack the pylons up the middle, like this. And even if it means I'm technically not using a small part of my... oh, wait, I don't need that. They'll all just magically join together as if by magic. Because magic. Also, I've done that anyway. Okay, so now what? Belt's coming out. That's the wrong way. Frequently, I frequently get that wrong because the arrows travel in the wrong direction on the belts. It's as simple as that. There is some uranium. Now let's get some power so we can actually get some of it to actually appear on that belt. All pipe things connect underground. So every building, instead of having a pipe on the end of it, has an underground pipe. Which leads to nonsense like this down here, where we have the output of this building is an underground. There's an underground pipe there, so it can, or there is a pipe there, and all pipes are underground, I suppose is the better way to put it. So it just magically connects to that pipe, which magically connects to that pipe, and so on and so on and everywhere. So yeah, on the one hand, it makes setting up things like this really easy because the pipes just join up, no matter even when you leave a bit of a gap. Unlike same sort of thing over here. On the other hand, it makes running multiple pipes through an area a little bit harder because you have to make sure that they're not lined up, which is why something's gone horribly wrong here. Oh, no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. That's meant to be crossing there. This is water 2, this is water 1. They are different. Oh, kind of wish they were different colours, but I guess that'd be asking too much. Yeah, so over here I had to do a little bit of careful. I had to be very, very careful with the pipes crossing over each other to make sure they were never sort of. Imagine they're all rooks from chess, and they're all on different teams, and they aren't allowed to take each other. Although they only have a 3 square range, so they don't move quite as far as rooks do. So I should now have researched the uranium, and I do seem to have done, which is lovely. So. Has that got me anything useful? Where is your anium? There it is. So that's got me centrifuges, which are a little more complicated than I'm used to. Fine. And also uranium processing, as you'd expect. Okay, let's go make some centrifuges then. Yes, the red message in the in-game chat was just X-Threat threatening me with an inability to comprehend the glory of the advanced what's the name processing, advanced oil processing, juice processing, soda processing. I don't think he's right. I think I'll be able to puzzle something out there. Okay, so somewhere I'm going to need to make. Somewhere I will need to make centrifuges. They're probably going to spin backwards or something. I don't know. Oh, they're going to be green as well, aren't they? Yes, there they are. There's a centrifuge. So that requires seahorses, iron gear wheels, which are made from iron, so that's perfectly doable. Advanced circuits, box gizmos, concrete and grill. So all of that is available on the bus, except for the concrete, which is close to the bus and can be got onto the bus without too much difficulty. So that's not going to be too bad. It's just, I feel like I'm going to have to set up another construction area because everything requires different things. Although actually looking in here, no, this is very, very similar. Here we have seahorses, check. Iron gear, check. Well, kind of, especially if I steal them from that machine that's making them for the belts. Advanced circuits, yes. Flat-headed gizmo boxes, yes. Concrete, no. Grill, yes. So the only other thing I need to bring in here is concrete. That's not too bad. So if I put another one of these, so if I then run this backwards to here, and then place onto, and then I put the concrete on there, then I've got everything I need right here. To make my centrifuges. That's kind of pleasing. So do that. Don't need that. Do need that. Do need that. Do need a box to put things in. So need that. Need to limit it to one stack for the time being. And need that. And then those. Right, so that is centrifuges apart from the concrete, which I don't expect to be a difficult thing to get into here. That was surprisingly easy. I am now very, very paranoid. No, I'm sure it was just it was a thing that just happened to come together quite nicely. I think that's in line. There we go. So we've got the water 2 on the... So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things on this bus. So the concrete will go there. Let's go find concrete. Can I use Bob the inserter to grab... Ooh, don't do that. I mean, potentially, but Bob is a fairly... Bob is not a flexible Bob. Bob is a, I will put these things here. Bob is a just, I will put this here, like it or not. It has a very, very specific range, which presumably is due to the number of extra sticks you stick into the long-handed inserter. That is the one place that couldn't go. So, yeah, Bobs are fun, but less useful than you might expect. Concrete. There we go. Right, so the concrete must flow. That'll go down. Let's turn pollution back off again. That'll come down here to here, where it will allow me to make the centrifuges. Because I've got everything in here, yes, except concrete. So, the red circuits are coming in a bit slowly because I'm using a a long inserter. Probably should have kinked the belt back down again and used a short inserter for that. But yeah, I think I might do that because this is going to be a lot. I'm going to need several of these. And so having one of the main ingredients, or an ingredient that we require a lot of, brought in with a slow inserter seems like a bad idea. So let's remove those and that. Then I can do that and then that. Remove that and then that and do that. That goes back in there and then we put power in like that. That's going to go under there. That's why I moved it across. There we go. Now we can chuck the red circuit in a bit more quickly, and now we are just waiting for the concrete to come in. The production of gears is a little bit slower than I would like. We do have enough in for a centrifuge. We have nearly enough for a second centrifuge, so it's not doing too badly, but it is a little slow. It's probably fine though. I don't remember my uncle being able to reach that far, should we say. Can you transport other liquids via mining drill? I don't think so. Pumping water into a mining drill for... What? I don't know why you... Yeah, you need an offshore mining drill for that, I suspect. But that would make a certain sort of logic, probably. Yeah, oh yeah. As with anything in Factorio, I got through Angel Bob's by, as you say, breaking everything down into tasks and working through it step by step. And yeah, that does generally work. That is sort of how you play the game. But then some of the tasks are a little weirder and take a little bit more getting your head around. And then by the time you've sort of worked out how to do a particular thing, I end up realizing that I've forgotten why I was trying to do that particular thing. So I'll go in and I'll make, I don't know, what have I made recently? I'm not sure, but I might go in and make one thing and then go, I have no idea why I've done this. So at the moment, for example, I'm trying to get this together. I'm trying to get uranium stuff together in order to potentially work towards maybe nuclear fish, so I can get myself a fission reactor, and then start using power armor. And also, I mean, nuclear power is always fun. I dread to imagine what it's going to be like, but in theory, it could be fun. That's just a thing to work towards. Also, it's there on the list. So, and again, I suppose the other thing is, yes, you have a list, you check it twice, you work your way steadily through it. I've come up here without even thinking about what the recipe is going to be for this. This is probably going to not work, and I'm going to realise that I actually need a discombobulator or something. But we'll start with this. Let's not make quite so much bell. We'll start with this and see how it goes. So I want you guys to uranium process. Ooh, that looks absolutely vanilla. How bizarre. So you're going to need input, boop, boop, and you're going to need output. I can't output onto the other side of the belt because this is vanilla. So instead I'll run it this way, because then when I inevitably need more machines, I can just expand that way as far as I need to. That'll be fine. Then bring us down here. I'm going to put in a splitter to separate the wheat from the chaff. Nope, it's green. Take 235 out on one side, 238 out on the other side. Power, power. Right, there we go. Did I make and test a cliff? No, I need uranium to make cliff explosives. Oh, thank you. That was a reason I was making uranium. I wonder if it's going to hurt when I carry it. No, it's not. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I have a machine down here that's trying to make cliff explosives, but it needs to be brought grenades and ham. No, grenades and uranium ore. In order to make the atomic cliff explosives. So yeah, that's a good point. This is something I'm going to come down and have a play with at some point, now that I have a quantity of uranium ore. Yes, in fact I might do that now-ish, because this is going to take a while to... Okay, these are not the ratios I am used to. I hope I'm not going to need to produce a large amount of green ammo, because this is going, or maybe there's going to be a reverse Covarex. I don't know, but that tickled me. Good. So we're gonna have plenty of 235 then, by the looks of it. That's always nice to know. I still haven't worked out the nuclear fish, and by worked out I mean researched. I don't think. They don't seem to be in here. I don't see. They would be in green if they're anywhere, because, well, they're green, or they might be in with fish, I suppose, which are here. I've lost the fish. Are they in green? I mean, there's the upgraded fish are in here. Where's the fish and the grape fish? Not did it actually matter. Oh, no, that's the get rid of fish. I feel like I may have lost the plot. I don't care. Yeah, I was looking for the vanilla fish at that point. Yeah, so can you? Oh, we've got some chat. I should catch up with chat. I think a little bit. Oh no, I'm not too far, not quite so far behind. Let's head over and start make some cliff explosives. My main bus is not too badly. It's not too badly designed, I feel. Yes, it has an unfortunate turn in it because I didn't know that there was going to be water there when I started building it, and cliffs as well. But mostly it's not too bad. There are only a few mistakes here and there on it. It's not too bad. You finished watching all the SE streams. Wow, thank you. You started watching the playlist in March 2024. So it took you, yeah, basically 2 years to watch the whole thing. That's impressive. Oh, fish don't have a recipe, so that's why I couldn't see them. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the cliff explosives are quite expensive. However, I'm sort of hoping that the cliff explosives are also going to be ludicrously powerful. Although part of me is also hoping they're not going to be ludicrously powerful, because if they are as powerful as you'd expect, as it sort of implies, then... Do I have any grenades with me? No. I've probably got some grill though, so I'll put that in there. I haven't got any grill. What's going on? Well, at least the grill I can grab off the grill belt, which is agreeably up here. There's some grill. Need to do something about the green circuits there. Need to also get some grenades. It is all just about the greens. That's where my military science is. So there should be some grenades around here. There they are. How many is that? 6. It's not very many. More red ammo can't hurt. Well, it can't hurt me. It can hurt the biters, but that's sort of the point. Right. Okay. So I've now got my grenades and I've got my grill, so I can get this up and producing some of the ludicrous cliff explosives. Now, I don't trust it not to have an explosion radius even bigger than normal. A normal nuke. So we're going to be very careful, and we're going to. This is a fairly slow process. I also have a minor concern that it's going to explode, but that's just me being paranoid thanks to the something else that happened. Okay, so there are some cliffs off at the bottom of the bus. That's probably a good one to go for. They're a reasonable No, actually, let's be a little bit paranoid first. Let's deal with some. Let's throw this first one at a cliff even further away. So these ones here, just in case, I'm going to go. Why am I walking rather than driving? I should probably be driving. I'm going to go and attack the cliff down here, just in case something ridiculous happens. So where's my cliff explosive? There's my cliff explosive. I have a very short throwing range on it, but... That is approximately what I expected to happen. Does it count as a troll if I predicted it? Anyway, that was sort of what I... yeah, that was more as I predicted. So the clearing cliffs out is going to be a somewhat dangerous process. I'd get the bots to do it, but they don't have the range either. So let's put down maybe I need to put down a roboport and then get the bots to do it, and then mark it for deconstruction. Just sacrifice everything around there. Right. I do still want to get rid of the cliffs around the bottom of my bus, though. So now, having seen the explosion radius didn't seem to be any bigger than a normal nuke. I want to get rid of that, basically. Oh, I do need to go and get my character corpse. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Do I just send in one of my bots to do it for me? And I feel like that's the answer. But I also feel that even if I start running as soon as the bot leaves my inventory, I'm not entirely convinced that I'm going to be able to run far enough away to survive it. So we will experiment and see. Is that still discharge? Yes, it is. Okay, so apparently when I die, all the wood falls out of my what's the name? Roboport. Run away! Oh. It went after a tree instead, because I'd been a little bit slightly careless with my marking for deconstruction. Okay, right, here we go. It's a real thing this time. There we go. It's going, it's going, it's going. Oh, the bot didn't make it. Poor guy. Still, I made it, and that's a little bit better. Although, come to think of it, these bots are irreplaceable. I've only got 16 of them. And although I am virtually able to make more now, and look, it left a little bit. Oh, for goodness sake. I am about to be able to make more, so I think it's probably okay to sacrifice them. Even if I do feel a bit cruel doing it. I'm going to get that rock, aren't I? Yes. That's okay. We can deal with rocks. Hey, you know what? If I dispatch bots to do both... Oh, too many bots went at the same time. And that meant one of them didn't make... A couple of them didn't make it to the... One of them didn't make... Yeah, I sacrificed 3 bots. Oh, and all on my last piece of cliff explosive. And it just got blown out of the sky. That's annoying. So now I'm down to 12 bots, which is a bit unfortunate. Oh, and the explosion was big enough to take this out. My background is starting to turn red. Eh? Do you mean, no, not on the webcam. Maybe it's not. Oop, let's not do that. Maybe it's night. Maybe it's because night time, or maybe it's because I keep sacrificing the poor little bots. Okay, this is stopped essentially. I think it's because over here, right? We just don't have we're not making green circuits fast enough anywhere. So I think I'm going to distract myself from the wanton slaughter. Oh, it's because there's fish on. Why are there fish on the copper belt? Is that a thing I should be aware of? Is it a known problem? Is it a problem I should know about? I don't know. Let's put in some more of this anyway. And we want a belt, normal belt there. And then we'll copy that again. And again. And again. And that'll be all my copper just getting swallowed up now, probably. But, oh well. I think I'm going to, I think I haven't yet upgraded the copper to a steel smeltery. So I'm going to be able to, do that at some, have I run out of, no, I haven't run out of belts, it's just the bots doing things in dumb order. Yeah, so presumably when I go for an electric smeltery, this is going to give me a furnace stack again. No, it gives me an actual electric furnace. It doesn't give me a ludicrous stack of them. I'm almost disappointed. Oh. There we go. Feeding them iron would help too. Missed a bit when I copied it. Alright, my copper supply is really, really going to struggle. The X-Threat Slayer is making its way gradually north, quite spectacularly. Ah, the labs are filling up the belt quite well. Presumably I'm not doing a lab-based research now. I'm not doing any research now. Let's do that one and that one and that one and that. Not that one. Ah, this is where we get the nuclear fish from. Which are made from 500 fish and 500 uranium ore. Okay, lucky I don't have that many fish, actually. I'll have to find some more somewhere. Oh, there's an X-Threat fish, is there? Okay. Fair enough. I dread to imagine what you're going to call me. This is definitely an insufficiency of copper. Why is there so little copper? Do we not have enough ore coming in? No, the ore's fine. This is just the rate copper is made at. Okay, fine. Because I know how to fix that. It's by making one of these. Oh, I'd forgotten they were difficult. I thought they were just real. But no. No, we're going to have to go and get some nonsense. We're going to have to get some hose restrictors and micro grip fasteners. In fact, while I'm getting micro grip fasteners, I might as well get 500 of them and get another upgrade. Because that's this one. I need 500 of them, which is going to be a bit of a drag. In fact, if I go over here and gather them from here, then I can get all the ones that are sitting on the belt, which speeds things up a little bit. What did you say? 500, wasn't it? This is a lot. Yes, I'm definitely not going to be smart enough for the advanced Yoda processing. Well, but you know, process or process not, there is no try. True. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't want to lose all of my bots for reasons other than cruelty and breeding and so on. Because yes, I would like to have them available for actually building stuff for me. So, oop, there's plenty here. Let's start grabbing from this one. Num 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 num. Okay, 100, 200, 300. Actually, does it tell me as I'm picking? No, it doesn't tell me as I'm picking them up. 1, 2, 3, 350. 400. 450. 500. Bink. I picked up exactly the right number, which is great, except for needing some of them for... oh yeah, I remember what for. This for. So I need another 24 of them. And I also need 24 Clifford hose restrictors. That's these guys. There we go. So now I can make a grill furnace stack. Right, then we have head back over the other way and immediately double the copper production, which I feel isn't going to be enough looking at the amount of copper we have on the belt here. And at that point, I start to have difficult decisions, like, should I try and build and should I'm obviously then probably get almost certainly then going to go off to another copper patch and just start expanding there. But do I do it with this tech, the fish producing tech? Where's my furnace stack? Oh, it's still building. Right. Do I go out there and do it with these furnace stacks, or do I try and get the advanced material processing too, which means I need to get boilers onto the into the labs, boilers into the labs, and then I can start going in with electric furnaces, which seems like a much better idea, to be honest. I think given that this is so close, I'm going to do that research and then switch over to using the electric furnaces in order to produce larger quantities of copper. In a single player, sorry, no, not a single player, this is a single player. In a normal vanilla run, this is about the sort of point where I'll be starting to seriously consider having other construction areas. So maybe have towns set up. So maybe an area over here that makes green circuits and then brings them in by train over to the main factory. In this, I probably still do want to do that. I just don't know how. I just don't know when things are going to do something weird if I try. Nope, that wasn't a sneeze. It got scared when I reached up for the reach for the mute button, and just didn't happen. Right, so that doubles my, well, in theory, doubles my coppering, as long as the ore can keep up, which it can't. Okay, great. What if I start putting you on the other side, since all the copper that's coming through from here seems to be on the left side, and then we can get a bit more flowing in there. Yeah, that's better. Are you now happy? No, you're still not really getting it in fast enough. There's a lot of dead drills down here, but that's all right. So we're still pumping massive quantities of copper up here to be made into green circuits. So this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. This is why I feel it's probably time to move green circuit production off the bus and have a big smelting area somewhere else, and then just provide green circuits. Now, at this point, there are options with that. I could provide the green circuits with a mark belt from. Yeah, over here feels like a good place because we've got copper and we've got iron fairly close to each other. Or alternatively over here, actually, we've got copper and iron also pretty close together, and it's off to this side, so I could just bung a belt of it straight in the side there. And then down here, actually, I've got the copper and the iron aren't too far apart down here. But at some point, I am going to want to start using trains, just because trains are awesome, if nothing else. And so maybe I should start setting up some sort of smelting and circuit production system in this area over here. Train the resources in and just see how that goes. We shall see. Check if I can build on scorch marks. Oh dear, I hope I can. Soda. What? I was going to say, what's a soda jerk, but I'm not sure I want to know. How are you getting on? I mean, there are... Now that I've doubled the speed of copper production down here, it's not doing too badly. There is some copper available. There are some green circuits available. It's definitely a little bit disappointing, but or a little bit under what's name, but it's kind of working. So if I'm going to go in and do a massive upgrade to electric furnaces and put in loads more mining drills, I was going to say I should probably put in nuclear power first, because at the moment I'm only producing apparently 40 megawatts, which isn't too bad actually. So maybe I should, I probably should upgrade to nuclear power, because I've got all the stuff up here. Well, that's a thought. Let's have a nuclear power. So I can make that's a portable fishing reactor. We've got the nuclear power. Have I done nuclear power? I'm sure I remember seeing it because it had the nuclear fish in it as well. So I must have done. It's right, let's try this because this tends to get... Yeah, there we go. There's a few more things. Nuclear reactor. Fine, that's not too bad as recipes go. Accumulator, sure. Heat pipe. Okay, it requires steel. I think the normal one does actually. Heat exchanger is just 5 boilers. That's a bit different, but okay. Steam turbine is 5 steam engines. Sure. Okay. I don't mind. It's silly, but I don't mind. What are they made in? They're made in furnaces though. That's very silly. Made in anything. Right, okay. The nuclear fish was hopefully cropped up by now. Yeah, we looked at that one. That was the raw fish in the uranium ore. So we understand that one. That might be worth making, actually. So nuclear fuel, that's the other thing that we're going to need, which probably should be in here, but it's probably going to be in here because it's green. I just didn't see it. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's lubricant. Okay, fine. Of course it is. It even looks like... It doesn't look any different from normal lubricant. So, I don't see nuclear fuel, which makes me slightly loath to build a nuclear reactor, although there is a non-zero chance that the nuclear reactor will just work through magic and nonsense. Uses uranium fuel cells to generate heat. Heat output increases when built next to other reactors. Accepted fuel is nuclear fish. Okay. So I guess this means that we need to start pulling the fish out of here. But if I start using... But if I start doing other power generation systems, I'm not going to be burning through the coal. Other power generation and other smelting systems, I'm not going to be burning through coal. Therefore, I'm not going to be building the hundreds and hundreds of fish that are required to make the nuclear fish. So this is a potential problem. Fine. Is there a... There's no way to create fish. There's a destroy fish recipe. Oh, yes, there is. You can create fish from seahorses, which we're creating from red circuits. And isn't there a way to... Yes, you can also turn red circuits into seahorses if you're desperate. Okay, so we can make fish on demand in order to make the nuclear fuel. I really, really hope there's an enormous amount of power in one nuclear fish, because that is an expensive old recipe. Right, so how am I doing with the fish down here? We've got up to 419 fish 8. So that's my 100 fish 9. We need another 175 to make fish 10. To make the 100 fish 10. And then beyond that, the fish 11 and fish... There is a fish 11 and fish 12, as we know. That's going to take an incredible number of fish to get that one. Okay, well, I think I'm going to... do I have too many seahorses? Yes, I do. Oh, we're turning them into fish which we're upgrading. Okay. So we do have a surplus of fish being produced over here. Maybe I should be, for now, I should bypass this, take all the fish up here, and turn them into nuclear fish. Hang on, nuclear fish is uranium ore. So what actually, is there anything that actually uses the 235 or the 238, or is that going to be another troll? I'm just going to have made a load of that and then not need it. Because the portable fishing reactor is nuclear fish, which as we've seen is uranium ore. So something else. Yeah, I've not found anything yet that uses actual uranium. That's not to say it won't happen later, but so far I've not found anything. Right. Let's stop faffing around with that. Let's just go and get some fish stuff happening. So I'm gonna go set up the reactor. I'm going to start off by assuming that it's just a normal reactor, heat turbines, heat pumps, heat exchangers. Everything's just going to run as normal. And then, as I am proved wrong in various ways, then I shall grumble, update the troll count, and and start making the new things the new way that is newly required. So I'm going to come down here first because I've got a lot of the buildings in place that are needed to make the... a lot of the resources all together that are going to be needed to make the nuclear reactor, I think. That guy. Yes, there we go. So we've got seahorses. Oh, we don't have copper. We do have red circuits. We do have concrete, and we do have grill. So most of it. So you need one of those. One of those. One of those. One of those. Because it's going to go into a box. I said it's going to go into a box. And then we need copper as well. And I could bring copper in along the top here. That's not going to be difficult. And then just feed it in here. I guess that's going to be what we'll do. Because I have this feeling. I don't remember the recipes, even though I looked at them a few minutes ago. I just have a feeling that we're going to need copper for for things like heat exchangers and whatnot. So we'll assume that for now. Right, you go there, and then we need a bit more belt there, a bit more belt there, a bit more belt there. What I should actually do here is combine these two. And I'm trying to think how to do that in a confined space like this. Make that a bit longer. And then bring that up there. We're losing all the iron down here for making the gears for the labs and the centrifuges, which is not ideal. So I want to have a splitter in there. I could remove that. Then I could put a splatter there and point that down, and then spaghetti! There we go. Right. So now I pick up some copper from here. We need to power these. Do it like that. There we go. And then, what's my... For my next trick, I'm going to need heat pipe. Oh, of course, the others are made in furnaces. But anyway, this is heat. I'll probably need some heat pipe because you just do, don't you? So we'll take some of that in there and take some of that in from there. And then once again, we put in the traditional box. A little box, handy box to put things in. 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes there. Then we need a couple of furnaces. We've got a furnace stack. Am I misremembering? Because these things are made in a stone furnace or a grill furnace or an electric furnace. I can't make a stone furnace. I can only make a stone furnace stack. Now I did start off with a few of them. But I've either lost them or put them in a chest of shame, or... Let's have a look around. Rather than running around, let's look around because that was a bit quicker. I was using them at one point to make bricks, but no, I'm using a stack for that now. Because they were just there to get me started, so I've probably dumped them in a chest of shame. There they are. Along with another 2 stone furnace stacks from previously. And some boilers that I could use for science. Right, so there's my stone furnaces. Let's go and get those. Sorry, gang, it's going to be a bit of a walk. What are we doing? What's on here? Oh, concrete. And I'm going on the belt in the wrong direction because it fooled me again because the arrows are moving in the direction I wanted to go rather than the belt moving in the direction I wanted to go. Rage. But I've been trolled by that before, so it doesn't count. Yes, seahorses are, yes, as you say, the obvious precursor to fish. What else would you make a fish out of? And of course, a seahorse is going to be made out of red circuits. They're clearly very, very linked because they get made at the same time in the same machine. So they're just different stages of the life cycle, I assume. I don't know. All right, back along the belts. I'm getting too cautious of finding the trolls before. Yeah, well, I'm still letting the trolls trigger. I'm just announcing my expectations beforehand. Was I trolled by the centrifuges? They were pretty... I suppose actually I was kind of trolled by the fact that I appear to not need any sort of uranium other than ore for anything at all, which is maybe awful. 1, 2, right. So you go. What? Wait a minute. A heat exchanger is made from 5... Oh, okay. So you have to put boilers into a centrifuge. Sorry, if you put boilers into a stone furnace, it knows to cook them into a heat exchanger. Okay, that makes a sort of sense. It's weird as a weird thing, but sure. So you're going to need to make me some boilers, which means stone and pipe. So there's my pipe. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. This one can go this way around. So I want you to make pipes. Fine. I want you to make boilers. We'll put them into there. And then the madness can resume. So that's going to be made from iron. So that's need a long inserter. That's being made from... Oh, we need a fuel source here as well. Oh, for goodness sake. There's a fuel source. That is going to be enough fuel for approximately ever. Then down here, I'm going to bring out the stone from down here because it's getting late and I'm getting lazy, and that's probably unfortunate, but that's how it happens apparently. So we'll bring the stone over here like this, and then we can use another long inserter there. Run out of long inserters. Ah, grr, and other rage-based noises. Let's do that and Yeah, that's all fine. Let's go and get some more long inserters. Back up the bus again. When can I have logistics bots? Please. Or construction bots, to be honest. Construction bots would be even better. In fact, I've got them. I don't remember seeing Roboport. I should probably look into bots. Maybe we'll save that. So next time, bots can be top of the list as long as I remember. No, inserters are further along. Bots can be top of the list as long as I remember, because I feel like I could really do with some of those. And if I'm going to have to blow up cliffs with nuclear bombs, then I'm going to need more bots. Long inserters, bink. Short inserters, boink. Or fast inserters, boink. There we go. 147, that's a lot of them. How am I doing for assembly machines? Still got 50. Cool, that's probably all right then. Belts, still got quite a lot of those. I'll get some more underground belts on the way past. Or alternatively, get some iron gear wheels because I'll misclick on the way past. Ooh, I nearly ran into Runeit. Right, so this is going to be an interesting proof of concept. Now, I'm pretty sure, based on my understandings of Factorio, this is going to be how we make the heat exchangers. So put that in there, and then we can put that into a box. We need another box. Box goes box. Right. Yeah, there we go. So it's cooking those into a heat exchanger. We have a heat exchanger. Boom. Good. The other thing is steam turbines, which is 5 steam engines in a stone furnace. And we make steam engines from pipes and gears and plates. Okay, so we'll put in another one of these. So that's my steam engines. That's my... No, gears come from underneath, so that's fine. Then put another stone furnace there. So we go, that goes into there, that goes into there, and that goes into there. That's already running. Steam engine. You also need iron. Okay, that's fine. Can do that. You also need fuel. Have one of those. And I believe, yeah, there we go. There's a steam engine. Steam engine goes in there. Right. So there we go. I've cracked the code. I've cracked the nuclear power generation with things made in stone furnaces. Good. Red circuit 2 fish to you 2 inks. You might have to be more specific than red circuit 2 fish, because I don't understand. Ooh, cooking. Boom! Turbine. Right. What are the ratios? I have no idea, because it's been so long since I've set one of these up myself, and they're probably going to be different anyway because we're playing in fun mode. So this has an output, generates heat, sure, output of 40 megawatts, fine. This consumes 10 megawatts, so one of those to 4 of these if I just have a single reactor, which is where I'm going to start. And then one of these is 5.82 megawatts, excuse me. Okay, how many steams do you make? You make 103 per second, because of course you do. So 4 of these would be 412, and that takes in 60. So 120, 240, 300, 360, 400. So I put 7 of these. So I've got 147. It's going to be close enough. I'm going to have slightly more than I actually need. It's going to take a while to get 7 of those, though. What have we got over here? 6. Okay, that's about right. All right, let's go and build a nuclear power plant. Oh no, I'm going to need 500 fish, and I've got 270 fish, so that's a step in the right direction. But I feel, yeah, I was going to pull this belt out, wasn't I? So I'll put in another underground here. Oh, yeah, I like that. Oh. Actually, that's okay, fortunately. And pull this one out this way. So this is my excess seahorse sink, which I don't have. I mean, they're all flowing down here to be made into goodness knows what down at the bottom. So I don't have a huge. There aren't an enormous number coming through, but at least I've got some fish, and this is going to be give me some to play with and work out what I'm doing. So we're just going to do all of the nuclear stuff way off to the north. Why have I come out this side? That's probably a bad idea, but never mind. Still nervous about walking past. Still nervous about walking past cliffs. Even if I'm being fairly careful to not walk into them. Oh no, it's meant to just actually build. I don't want to get the bots to do the building because they're so slow, but I also want to be able to mark things for demolition if they're in the way, and there isn't a sort of an in-between of those, I don't think. Whatever. Right, so over here, these are my 2 ingredients for nuclear fishals. Right, what do you make a nuclear fish in? It's going to be a green thing, it's a nuclear fish, it's that one. Made in a centrifuge, okay. I'm going to borrow that because I don't think I need these centrifuges. I'll put you in there. And we're going to ask you to make nuclear fish. And we're going to do it by feeding in fish and nuclear, because that's how science works. Is there any power around here? Yes. There we go. So we can start that loading up. And we will make a nuclear fish. And then we will go, why did I do this? And we'll go, oh yes, because to power the reactor. Do we just... Oh, I didn't bring a reactor. I brought the heat exchangers. Oh, I brought the heat exchanger and the thingamawhat's it with me, but I forgot the reactor. So for now, while we're experimenting with things, we're just going to put that there. And then I'm going to run 4 heat exchangers off it. Like this. And then I'm going to go, oh wait, this means I need water over here. Fortunately, we're actually quite close to a lake. That's convenient. I didn't really plan this through very well. Can you tell? At least they pass the steam through between them like that. That's good. Pass the water through between them like that, rather. So then, I think I said 6 turbines. I've only got 2. And I could just make it 8 like this. I feel like that might be normal numbers. Oh wait, I need to power them. I mean, connect them to the grid. It has been too long since I've set one of these sort of systems up, clearly. Oh wait, it doesn't matter if there's a gap. Because they'll just link, because magic. I don't need to put the pipe between them, basically. They can just be like this. I do think I probably want to have them all linked across the end over here. Though. Like this. Just feels like a good idea somehow. Right, let's get the water in here. Okay, here come the fish. We've got 44 already. There's another 274. A few at a time. There we go. 322. So we are 2/3 of the way to our first fish. Great. In the meantime, it's time to find my blueprint of a long pipe again. This one. And then just set off this way. Oh, I thought I was going to have to shoot some biters then, but no, that rock didn't... Either I didn't knock out a rock or it didn't contain biters. I'm not actually not quite sure. That's worked really, really nicely, not colliding with anything. Excellent, we like to see that. Go over here. Right, this is a very, very diagonal shoreline. There's a bit there where I could probably put in an offshore pump, so we'll do that. Yeah, I've got lots of offshore pump 2s, but I don't want those right now. I want an offshore pump 1, so I'll put that there, that. Right, there we go. That is water. And you're producing 5 a second. That's pathetic. Why are the offshore pumps so bad? Not that it matters, because I'm not going to get any heat until I go and get my before I go and get an actual reactor, but still. Right, let's go and let's do that so I can finish that belt off properly. Right, so we've got a nice steady trickle of fish coming through here. The question is, do I want to pull all the fish from the other from the other power plant, or am I happy just getting my fish at this sort of rate? Also, this kind of bugs me as well. Let's just do that. I don't know whether that counted as belt and pipe weaving or not, but it didn't sit well with me. All right, so hopefully by now we've got a reactor and some more turbines made down here. We've got 8 turbines, that's a good number. And have we made a reactor? No, because we haven't got enough red circuits coming in. Okay, well there's some over here I can go and steal. It's a sort of temporary thing that. Oh, limit the chest, that's a good idea if I didn't. Let's check them all along here, even though I'm pretty sure most of them are done. But because it's a very good point. Yeah, that one's limited. That one's limited. That one is not limited. We do not need an infinite number of nuclear reactors. Oh, it still needs more red circuits. I need another 300. Jeez. Okay. I do need some heat pipes, and I've forgotten an inserter. That's why there aren't any of those. Don't need more than a stack of them. And we don't need more than a stack of them. Thank you. I would have felt a little bit silly if I come back and found a bajillion of those. I would have 4 of those. Right, let's go and raid some red circuits from here, because I can. See if we can actually get 300 of them. I suspect this isn't going to be 300, and everything is going to just be running very, very slowly until I've managed to get a few more, until I manage to get various bits and pieces, like the copper supply, upgraded. I assume that's why this is running. So no, it's not. No, it's the green circuit supply, which is also the copper supply. Okay, so we need a lot more copper in order to get a decent number of green circuits coming through. So you can see up here, yeah, the green circuit. There's hardly any copper coming in to make green circuits. So there's hardly any green circuits coming in to make red circuits. So we don't have very many. Well, that's 270, 280. Almost 300. So with the ones it's going to have picked up by now from just what's coming in naturally along the belt, that might be enough. Yes, it is. Sweet. Okay, so we'll grab those as well. We've got enough heat exchangers, so I'm happy with that. And when this finishes chugging away, which it will fairly soon, grab another one of those. So yeah, one of the next things is going to be to build up a much bigger production area of all of the basics. So that'll be copper, iron. Actually, the copper and iron are probably okay if I break out the green and possibly red circuit, certainly green circuit production, into its own separate area. If I do that, then I feel like I'm going to have then the amount of copper that's flowing down the bus now is going to be absolutely fine. We'll need an additional belt of green circuits, because I'll want one for anything that uses green circuits, and then an additional one for making red circuits. How are you getting on? 458, 460, so I need another 40 fish. I mean, we're looking at numbers now that it's almost worth going and fishing for fish. Except fishing for fish does not appear to be a thing. There are no fish in the lakes. They're just these things, which are apparently a type of fish, but not a very good one. 482, 46, 88, 90, 90, 94, 96, 98, 500. So this is very close. We're gonna have our first nuclear fish in a minute or two. Yeah, the furnace recipe is quite clever. It did sort of make me think about it a little bit, because normally you think, well, I've made how do I select the recipe, because you don't expect things to just cook into things like that. But apparently they do. Oh, it's making me a nuclear fish. It's making me a nuclear fish. It takes a while, but it's making me a nuclear fish. Excitement. It's happening, and all that sort of stuff. Raw fish, you can have those. These are fish 2 and fish 3. Okay, I wonder if I can... I assume I can use fish 2 and fish 3 for healing, but I haven't actually tried. Dun 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 dun. Nom. 100 gigajoules. Okay, that is a phenomenal amount. That is 100 gigajoules. I feel like is a absolutely ridiculous amount of power. Oh, and it does produce a raw fish when it finishes as well. Okay, so I'll have to deal with that, but that's easy enough. I just do that and then put it back onto the belt over here, and it can be taken in to be made into another nuclear fish. Yeah, 100. If you get 100 gigajoules out of a nuclear fish, then I'm not quite so upset about it taking 500 fish to make it. That said, I do want to grab a nuclear fish at some point in order to make a portable fishing reactor. Am I in map mode? It's just not showing me. No. Oh, it's going to be in the green again, isn't it? Yeah, the portable fishing reactor, that one. But that needs me to make blue circuits, which needs me to investigate the soda processing and turn fizzy Fanta into processing units and fizz. So that's going to be a whole thing. But yeah, we can get we can tackle that eventually. 260. Temperature's climbing nicely. Yeah. Oh, and I need to put in some heat pipes along here. I did grab some of those. Yes, good. There we go. So these can heat up now as well. 160, 170, 180, 190, yada yada yada. 100, 200, almost 200 degrees there. 200 degrees here. Right. It's happening. At some point in the not too distant future, we will have, assuming I don't get trolled by something, we should have an additional quantity of power coming in from here. My power consumption has sank down quite a lot. I'm not building stuff anything like as fast as I used to be. That's probably because I'm not doing any research. That's why. So we can't do that one at the moment. We haven't got boilers being fed in, but we can do that and that. And that, and fine. Not as good as the blue explosives. Interesting. That and that. Yep, these are all things that can be done. So we'll just pick off basically the first row and just get them run through. Oh, processing unit unboiling. Processing fluid. That sounds like a thing I'm going to want very, very soon. Let's take that out. Put that in. And see if that's an alternative way to make them. Or I have this suspicion that I'm going to make processing units. I'm going to make some sort of liquid processing units with this one. Yes, processing. And then I'm going to have to solidify them with this one. But we'll see. It'll be an adventure finding out. We have to wait for this to get up to 500 before it'll actually provide electricity, don't we? And I know I'm sort of being a bit silly sitting here babying it because it's a very, very simple build. It won't work because that one's not connected to a doohickey heat output point. I forgot how to do these things. Oh no, that one could still stay there. I need one in there as well. Yeah, these actually need to be tacked onto the. Pull this one out, right, and start again. So I want to put one of these in here, so it's actually tacked onto the heat exchanger point, the heat point on there. I have to admit, I'm now second guessing myself. Was that actually working fine, and I pulled it up unnecessarily? I am not sure. I could have checked the temperature of it before I pulled it up, but I didn't. So we'll do this, and I'll put in if I've got another heat exchanger, then I'll put it in and find out, because I'm now curious. So put that there. No, temperature's 15 degrees. It doesn't pick it up, so it does have to connect to those points. So that it was wrong before. Now it's okay though. So we see this one here is 370 degrees, 380, 390. Okay, so we're nearly there. Yeah, it's interesting when the game switches from something being a ridiculous surplus of it to being a bit of a shortage. I remember a similar sort of thing happening in Angel Bobs, where in the first sort of couple of phases of the game, you're crushing ore and you're getting a load of you're bringing in ore and you're crushing it to get the stuff you want out of it, and then processing that to make the metals. But as well, part of the crushing process, you also get out a load of crushed stone, and you don't have any use for that. So you start off thinking, well, I don't want to throw it away, so I'll start saving it. So you put it in a warehouse because Angel Bobs gives you warehouses, and you save a load of it in the warehouses. And then it gets sillier and sillier, and you go, oh, this is ridiculous. I don't have anything to do with all this crushed stone. What can I do with it? And you discover there's a recipe that allows you to basically just wash it away. So you combine it with a load of water in a one of those things you get in sewage treatment works, and a clarifier, I think it's called. And then it all power, and then it all just disappears. And then about 2 stages later on in the processing, you discover that you need an absolutely phenomenal amount of crushed stone, and it's not made from just crushing stone. It's more complicated than that, and you wish you hadn't thrown away all of that crushed stone earlier. So yeah, it's a bit like that with the fish. Although I was going to say, although I didn't throw away so many fish, that's not true. I did throw away an enormous number of fish, and now I've discovered that I kind of could have. Yeah, they would have been useful for making the nuclear fish up here. There we go. We've used about 10% of that. This has gone up to nearly half, certainly 40% of it. So I think this is going to be absolutely fine for keeping this running. In the interests of saving some fish, let's hook that up to there and tell it to only... and then we'll tell this to read fuel and read temperature. And then this... Oh no, we need I'd need a combinator for that. And I don't have any Clufford hose restrictors with me. All right. Well, we'll just tell this one to not insert when if the temperature is too high. There are some extra symbols in here, so it just says fun. F is for fish, U is for you, and N is for normal stuff. I'm sure it is. Thank you very much for that. Right. T is the temperature. If enable when T is less than 550. I'm going to chuck another thing in there. Game gives you the fibre, directions on how to braid it into rope, and the opportunity to hang yourself, but just in case you're not sure, they give you the galaxy. Yeah, it is Angel Bobs. It's supposed to be difficult. That's sort of the point. Oh, the fish has stopped. That's disappointing. Why have the fish stopped? Seems a bit fishy. Oh, they're all going down here to be made into blue science packs. I mean, that's fair enough. That's what's supposed to happen. That is meant to be the priority. So I can't really complain. Although we've stopped doing science now, so this will fill up, and then we'll be able to get some. We'll be able to restock our seahorses. So that's lovely. Apparently, Board Easy is quite dark. Right, I've got nuclear power. Nuclear power is nuclearing. If we click on here, we can see that now, boom, we are producing half our power from solid steam and half our power from nuclear. Fine, it's good, it's working. We've got some extra power available now. That's. I wonder how much pollution we're producing with that, because I've not really thought about pollution very much this stream. It can't really tell yet. It's too soon to tell. Although we do have some pollution up here because there's mining going on. Right. Yeah, fairly safe at the moment. Those biters are going to be a problem at some point in probably next stream. There's some more grape juice patches I can grab down here if I need them. So it was down to the south, not the north. So it's a good thing I didn't go off looking for them. Oh, there's three of them over there. Yeah, but I think this is a point to stop. So projects for the future. At some point, I want to go over here and turn this into a green circuit production system. I want to potentially upgrade the amount of copper and iron that's being brought in, but to do that, I'm going to need to get this research, which means I'm going to need to make boilers and feed them into the labs as well. That's not difficult; it just needs to be done. So, get that sorted at some point during as we go through, and begin probably early on in the next stream. Then yes, green circuits from there. I feel that power armor is fairly high on my. I would like to have some of that list. I say power armor, and all that sail in her. What are you? Oh, a 20.1 meter pole. Okay, fine. Good. So yeah, I want power armor and roboports and robots as well. So those are the amongst the things I intend to do next time are a better green circuit production facility, armor and all the things that goes in it, and proper robots as well. So that will allow me to build and spread and do things a bit more easily, a bit more quickly, and a bit more betterly, and hopefully that will make a big difference and things will go a little bit more sensibly. I have learned about rocket launchers, so I could make some rockets for the next time I go out biter clearing. But to be honest, the machine gun is doing pretty well at the moment. Have I invented green ammo? Can I know about green ammo? Here we go. This one, uranium ammo. Okay, it's made from piercing round magazines and distilled green. That's incredibly simple. And yeah, let's grab that then. That's really easy. We might as well switch over to green ammo. Assuming and it seems to be pretty good as well. About 50, just over 50 bonk. So that's very worth having. How much bonk do I get out of a normal ammo? Wow. So it's like 2.5 times as powerful as piercing round and infinitely more powerful or massively more powerful than the yellows. Cool. That's another thing to think about then. So, but yeah, this is where we're going to be going with the next time. It's going to be supply of green circuits. Supply of getting the armor up and running and getting robots up and running, and then we'll see where that goes. I don't think I can throw cliff explosives at biters. I think I can only throw them against cliffs, but I haven't tried, so you never know. We will find out later, I think. Right, so we're up to 65 trolls. That's certainly some. But I think on that note, it's going to be a good time to wind up. So, what is it? Today is Wednesday. So there are videos coming out tomorrow and Friday. So those will be talking about some of the stuff that's been going on in Planetary Pioneers, looking at Pelagos. I started making the videos in a slightly different way, which I think makes them better. But I'd be interested to hear your opinions on them. The last few since the Malibu and Coke one, I think have been the new style. So I've been interested to hear what you think of them. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of those. Follow on Twitch, etc., etc., etc. We'll be back on Monday for some more Planetary Pioneers, where hopefully we won't have any unfortunate game crashes, and we'll actually get some science packs launched off Pelagos this time. I was confident we were going to get that done last time, but then thanks to the game crashing on us because of some Castrian problems, that didn't happen. So we'll hopefully get that sorted out. Right, I think that's everything I have for you. So if you're watching on Twitch, please stick around because we'll go off and find someone to raid. If you're on YouTube, thank you for watching. And I'm afraid I can't bring you along for the raid, but I hope you've enjoyed the stream. And I hope to see you next time. So let's see. Let's pause the game as well. And let's find somebody to raid. So raid, search Factorio. Who else is playing Factorio? That's in foreign. This one just says Aquilo. Oh, this one says it says English on it. So let's go and check that one out. Aquilo sounds like a fun place to go. So good night, Inks. Good night, Board Easy. Good night, Quago. Good night, everybody else. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye bye.